What's up, everyone? This is Hyper Sapien, the Mad Titan, and we're ready for another multi-stream of madness. So, yeah, I am a little bit late. I was having a lovely chat before, and unfortunately, didn't want to end it. So we got Roger here first. We got Kovu. It's go time. Paul saying it's ready, set, go. Yeah, I need a longer countdown. Probably about 10 minutes would be good. Paul's agreeing with that. Let's go now. Yes, it is time. Yeah, Cody, it's not G-Funk tonight. I'm not getting too crunk. Hi, King of SA. They named King Paul. Who else could be saying that besides Roger? Uh-oh, Paul had me on the clock. We have 12 people watching. I appreciate you all being here. Hello, Caitlin. Cybra. Cybra. We have Mayhem with his lovely smile. We have the Benji, the Benj, the Ben. I don't understand what he's saying here. Must be some sort of childish Benji-ism. But I am being a little bit cheeky because we do have someone hiding back here. Are you ready to come up? Oh, I see a bit of typing happening. Hello, Caitlin. But we have a lovely guest backstage. We have Mrs. Austin is here. She has a mic muted again.
I'm muted. I'm sorry. I keep talking and talking and keep forgetting that I'm muted.
I'm like, oh, I see the mouth moving.
My audio is off for a second. Give me a second.
No problem.
Why is it not working?
Must be the gremlins.
Ah, there it goes. I have a second screen set up because I was trying to do homework before I got on, and I had to move it around because the lighting was crap. And crap, now you guys can see my closet. I apologize. We moved the rooms around, so I got a lot more space in the lights, not directly in my
the skeletons coming out of my closet. Always have to push them back in.
I missed you guys too. Benj, I missed you guys too. I actually was putting on the chat earlier about how much I missed everybody. And definitely was missing live today.
How much love you're getting. Look at all that. They're getting more excited than they do when I come on.
Oh, stop. It's just because I haven't been here in a while. No one's seen my face in a while, so can't give it any more credit than that.
You know they must miss you when even Benj is being polite about it.
Switch around.
Benj hasn't said something naughty for about a minute.
I know. Right. I do enjoy reading the chats. No, Caitlin, I apologize. And I think I'll leave it at that. I don't need to add any more to it, but I will leave it at that. I very much apologize. Seems to be what happens when people aren't forthcoming. So I do apologize.
Yeah, and I kind of said before, sometimes, when you want to try to fix the situation, sometimes you just make it worse, or sometimes you just need to let other people, deal with their own shit, I guess, without trying to fix it. Trying to fix both sides, it just doesn't work. So
those are big words. That I'm not good at. I'm not good at. I'm a problem solver. I love puzzles. I love challenges. But at the same time, my want and need to understand people,
Yeah.
the human condition. It's
Mm.
social cues are definitely not something that I um, automatically pick up on. It's not something that everybody has a bad day. That's what I keep telling myself in my head. Everybody has a bad day, maybe I just caught them on their worst day, kind of attitude.
And then when that and then when that
So
bad day's like, many days, you start wondering when's
well,
the good
and
day gonna
then
come.
again, if they're not back to back to back to back to back,
Mm.
it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't click because, you could be an asshole, and as long as I'm an asshole, but I'm a nice asshole, hey,
Mm.
and it has to do with, if you own it, if you own your shit, then I ain't got no, I'm not perfect, I'm not claiming to be perfect. I would never claim to be perfect.
Yeah, well, I had
Bench.
speaking of days, I had a shitty ass day myself. I didn't know if I was going to come and stream. It just kept on getting worse to the point where I didn't even want to move after a while. Like, where even just doing stuff is like a huge deal. It's like, no, I'll just sit here and feel like shit.
No, see, okay,
Like
I rolled
even getting up to like get a drink or whatever is a big deal.
I rolled my ass out of bed for 2 days and sat for at least 12 hours and was like, okay, I got to go to work. Every
Yeah,
few hours, okay, I got to go to work. Okay. But the air conditioner is messed up at work, and the thought of sweating on things that I just cleaned is just not something, because then I have to clean it again. So it's like I don't want to do this. Today the smoke cleared enough for me to open the door while I was cleaning. So it was it
a
was a
plus.
little bit better, but
Yeah,
when I got
because
to
when you clean, you want to have like circulation happening, but when you can't, it's
and then
fucking
I feel
shit.
like my because I feel like I'm sweating, like I feel like um I think like having to take breaks just depletes all of my energy. It makes me not want to finish what I have to do, and it's my job, so I kind of have to. So
Yeah, and it's a little bit shit when you can't like exactly walk outside for fresh air and stuff like that.
that's exactly it
Get
too.
away from it.
Yeah, everybody has a fan in
Hello,
their
Chris
room.
O.
Everybody hides around, hides behind their fans, so you can stay nice and warm. That's so funny. I'm sorry. I'm so distracted. I haven't. I'm like trying to keep my attention and read the chat at the same time. But I have
No,
been
that's all
enjoying
right.
watching your guys' lives, the replays, and definitely,
It's even it's, e-
definitely trying to
it's even worse when I do this because I try to read it here, try to read it over there, and then I try to speak to the chat, and just my eyes are probably
going in circles. Well, because I try to listen to your guys' lives while I'm working. So the fact that you're reading out the chats helps me so much because I'm not in front of my
yeah.
screen every
Don't
time.
have to check it.
So, and I
Mm.
told you that on your I commented on your video about how because I can just walk away from my iPad, and you guys were
Mm.
on the loudspeaker because before I clicked onto the live, I was singing, just had music playing and was just singing all over the building, trying to just keep my energy up so that I'll just get through it. And because it's not so much the repetitive movement, but it's hot. My skin is sticky, and that's just not something I enjoy. So
Yeah.
hi,
Hello,
Laura.
Laura.
I get all caps. Wow, and like I said, it's been a while, so no one's seen me in a while. So
Everyone's freaking out.
Today was
Did you see my little? Did you see my little friend?
no, I haven't. Oh my gosh. That's like
Had this
1970s. Hi Mark.
yeah, 17s, 70s.
1970s. Like that's the original outfit that they put him in when they were selling him.
Yeah, and I had this when I was like since a kid, and I was going through stuff, getting out my big Infinity Gauntlet, and found him, and thought that people might find it funny that I'm
I
sipping tea
love
with
it.
Kermit now.
I love it. It's adorable. I definitely have well, we have a few prospects coming. My husband may or may not be being backed for like a property clearing, like overgrowth,
Okay.
since we live in the mountains and stuff. Cleaning service, like property clearing service. So
Yeah,
we're gonna
right.
fold it underneath my Just Rant Already business, and so I'm gonna hire him as my employee. So I'm gonna subcontract him for jobs, so I can use my business, And the first
Yeah,
job we get, I'm gonna have to go buy a business license because we're gonna probably make good money. The first job we get, so.
well, that sounds good for you both,
I
for
I
sure.
trimmed my hair. I'm very happy. I trimmed my own hair. I can wear it in 3 different. I look like I have a whole head of hair now, and I don't. I have my hair's. We're back to winter, so my hair's not crazy curly. Sticking up like crazy. Uh, right now it's currently 56, so that's 20 Celsius. So it's getting cold for us.
Yeah, Australia's weather's quite weird because we're moving into spring now, and we are getting some warmer days, but then we are getting some rain and some heavy wind. I think a lot of
We've been
Australia
getting the
got it
wind.
recently.
We've been getting the wind, but not so much
Yeah,
rain. Yeah, it is. It's still 80 Fahrenheit, so that's still in the almost 30s Celsius. So
uh,
still.
Mrs. Austin looks
I
okay,
am so
but
not
I
rested.
I look like shit.
I'm so not rested. I probably had like 4 hours sleep the last week every night.
That's terrible. And here you are, you should be sleeping. We can do a sleep stream. You can just sleep and
No, you can already hear Ryan snoring. I probably snore louder than him. I don't know. I'm not awake to know. And I'm too scared to do that sleep app. Listen to me while I'm sleeping. Because I used to talk in my sleep when I was a kid. So I really don't want to know what I'm dreaming about because I have the luxury now of waking up and not remembering. So our fires are under control. Yes, not completely out. So the smoke the last 4 days is always not so nice. It was high enough over the weekend. Going outside was just not an option. So, oh, I'm cold right now. I got a new throw blanket, and my legs are actually pretty cold because it hasn't gotten under 60, even though it was cold outside. It was 60 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, beach weather for us here in California. If it's, 60s to low 70s, it's nice. So see, and I was born in our spring. Oh goodness. Literally when bunnies are born, I was born. So it was just always a joke. That's why I have so many kids. That's
yeah.
what she said, bitch. I've thought about
Benj must be on the wrong stream.
I've thought about doing some more art, maybe feeling a bit better, finishing my landscape picture that I did with my poem and kind of, and all because I need to go out and sand and paint my sign that I need for farmer's market. And I'm just like, I think I'll paint something instead.
I paint these all the time, but yeah, I wouldn't mind painting like a canvas or something where it could be abstract or just. Did you see the little pictures I did on a couple of the live streams, Mrs. Austin?
No, because again, I was too far away from my iPad while listening.
So I did this, I don't know, maybe last Monday. It was sometime last week.
Yeah, Sundays are my 5-hour shift. So I watched like 2.5 of your videos during that time. So I probably heard you talking about them, and I just.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, I just went through, got this, and thought it might be, if I'm up by myself, it might be something interesting to do. So I did this one first.
See, why is that the prawn? Yeah, I was gonna say you should make a character when it's up there where it says with friends. You should put pictures of all of us that you have drawn on there.
And this one was when Mayhem and Mark was on, and we was talking about like paranormal and stuff. So it was going to be the naked alien, but I put clothes on him by mistake.
Oh yeah, you put clothes on him by accident. I love that he has gloves on. I'm like, is that gloves or a missed
opportunity? Yeah, like a glove or try to make him look like he's wearing some sort of outfit. I don't know, just a little doodles and stuff.
I think drawing a naked alien would be weird because I don't know what it's supposed to be under his shirt. Like a cartoon, or like a Ken doll. It's just everything smooth.
Like that's it. I reckon that's how it would be, wouldn't it? Just smooth.
It's like watching Men in Black and the Balchinian guy. Like that's the most funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like,
I just wanted him to look like as well that he's just wanted him to look like he's just chilling and stuff, with his beer and his smoke, like a little bit of an Aussie. Welcome, Bonnie. Yeah, nice drawing of Roger. I do have a bit of an idea for Tazdaz when I get around to doing one for Tazdaz.
See, and Tazdaz to me would be like, you should draw them in a silent Jay and Silent Bob stance. Him and Rolfus.
That would be gold. Yeah,
in front of like a fast food place instead of being the convenience store.
Yeah, instead of movies, it would be like Macca's. That's a great idea.
That would be perfect.
Well, I call Taz Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah.
Call them the old Tasmanian Devils.
I could see a Taz. Oh goodness, I could see a Tasmanian Devil with a beard. I could see that being Taz. Heck yeah. I could totally see that. Hi Bonnie, I want to make an apology to you as well. Leave it at that, but yes, it says join the chat and it wants me to link my YouTube. I was like, that's weird.
I have another person backstage now, so I'm going to quickly go through the chat and then I'm going to bring up the Red Devil himself. So I'm surprised you didn't make a living out of it. Talented, they're just being too kind. Hey Mayhem, hey. Are we ready for it? Are you ready, Miss Austin? You don't know who it is.
No, I can't see anything, so.
It's the big red machine and the red wiggle. Hungry Jacks. It is a Sammy.
Hey!
I didn't even know that you knew about this channel.
Hey?
I didn't even know you knew about this channel.
I've got my ways, my brother. I've got my ways.
Well, you sure do. You sure do. Mick must have squealed on me.
Hey?
Mick must have squealed.
No, I just heard that this was the place to hang out, and I thought, oh, well, I'll come up and say good day.
So have you been to Hungry Jack's recently?
Just one thing, Sammy. Hungry Jack's recently.
Don't you dare talk about it here. No, you can talk about it here. I don't mind. You can talk about Hungry Jacks until you get sick of it.
No, I've been on a bit of a diet, to be honest, G. I've gone off all
Wow.
fast food and stuff, and yeah,
That's
I'm
good.
just trying to get off alcohol now. That's
I
that's
actually had
where
Hungry Jacks today, but we won't get into that.
No,
I'm addicted to the Lotus Biscoff stuff.
mate. I'm yet to try that Biscoff, the Storm, and I'm desperate to
Wow.
try it. Apparently, it runs out in the next couple of weeks, and yeah, I'm desperate to try
Yeah.
it.
When I could
Yeah,
eat that
no,
stuff, I
it's-
loved those. They were my favorite. Like, I would go to the international store and buy them all the
Yeah.
time.
So
It's
there's
just like, I don't know. It's like a buttery, crisp, cookie. Well, to me.
So
it's
what
a
are
cookie
the
biscuit.
rules here, G? Am I allowed to drink or yeah?
Yeah, go for it. There's pretty much everything as long as you don't show your willy tacky wacky. That's about it. We've had Roger gets naked on stream, like waist up. He gets his chest out. So
Oh, I love that. Love that. I'm just
it's incredible.
I had to turn my
This is
camera
again
around
a-
so you guys could see my shirt.
so
Nah,
Mrs. Austin.
pretty
I wear it all the time.
You're on the naughty
Been a
list, I
while,
reckon.
Mrs. Austin.
Yeah,
How
I
are
know.
ya?
That's why I left. It's so that when little kids see it, they're like, "Oh, you believe in Santa?" And I was like, "Of course I do. Someone's got to bring me something I don't know I bought myself." Like, come on, no. I don't tell them that, of
That's
course.
it.
But,
Can you still see me okay, guys? Or-
Yeah, we can see you, and yeah, enjoy
No, you're
yourself.
good.
Have your beer or whatever.
Do I look small in frame or?
You do look a little bit like I could just pick you up and move you.
Oh, here, I'll move way back here. I'll move way back here.
Yeah. Are we getting smaller? Whoa.
Yeah, we moved the bedroom to be on the west side. So my bed is right here instead of where I'm sitting. Our bed used to be right here. And so instead of being on
Yeah,
that far side by the front door, by the doorway, I'm on the wall where our bed was, the furthest away. So and Ryan's on the other side.
Honey, I shrunk the stream. Well, we do have another individual backstage.
I don't
It
like not
is.
being able to see who's coming up. I'm telling you that right now.
Oh, who could it be? Uh-oh. He's ready to growl at everyone. He's ready to pounce. Here he is. Boom. Hi, Nick.
Aw.
I'm going now.
Oh, God. Sam looks like a Buddha. You do. You do look like you're sitting in a very peaceful namaste space.
I actually have a statue of Sammy on my hobby area. I always keep this just in statue of Sammy.
Does he have a pirate? Does he have a pirate eye right now? You're Buddha.
How'd you get a statue of Sammy? That's a very rare statue to have. Did you make it yourself?
Yeah. No, I had to track it. Someone actually sent me this, but yeah.
You fall out of your wheelchair, Sam, you can't get back up.
Very, very rare statue to have. Well,
Nick.
prize it, Mr. J. It'll be worth thousands in the future.
Why is this screen
Oh,
so
yeah.
small? Oh, there we go.
I should
There
paint
we go.
on some
That's
ginger
fine.
hair and a bit of a goatee. What do you reckon, Sammy?
I don't know. Can you pull it off?
Pull it off.
If you want to pull it
I was
off,
on the-
then
When you when I was on I got before when you sent the link, the link when you send it.
yeah.
Yeah, I was on the phone. I was on the phone to Mark.
Ah,
Yeah,
is he
just
trying to figure out ways to get out of coming to the stream?
No, he said he'll probably pop in. He just had to do a few things he had to get a few things out of his truck. He said he'd probably pop in. No,
So
I rang
Yeah,
him.
he's
'cause
probably going
Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
to. I was going to say he's just probably getting his pack of Tim Tams ready.
No, I rang him because I'm going to Brisbane next Wednesday, and I called him and I said I probably won't have time to catch up with him anyway because I'm only going up for a gig and I'm coming straight back the next day.
Yeah.
So I don't
So
think I'll have.
is this a new cool place to hang out?
Is this the new?
It's always been the cool place to hang out.
Always been the
It
cool
always
place.
has been.
Some of us were just brainwashed, and I didn't come over to this one.
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
And I'll admit I was scared to come on anyone else's lives.
Why?
I am pretty scary though, so
Yeah, why?
I don't blame her.
Because G's scary. No, why?
Come on, Martin,
Yeah.
get up on the panel.
Spill the beans. Spill the beans. Why were you scared?
Just because I felt like it would be perceived wrong, and
Is disloyal or something?
yes, certain person made comments that I felt were.
I remember that you was a bit reluctant to even comment on my videos, wasn't you? At one stage, because of how people are, and I just said, "Fuck it, you're welcome. Come and
Or,
if you're bored enough to watch my videos and you want to comment, then go ahead."
Well,
Austin, all you had to do was tell me, and I would have fucking put a stop to that in 5 seconds.
I'll be completely honest. Because I don't have anything to hide, and I'm not.
I'll be completely honest. When are you never completely honest?
This is when he's going to be completely honest.
So
Go for it, Sammy.
So for me, to be honest, where my thought process sort of changed is when I went on that night and I did the whole Hungry Jacks bit. Like, I understand we were all trying to build something.
Troublemaker.
No, listen, without talking over the top of me. We were all trying to build something and we wanted to see something be successful for somebody else. I understand that. But then the night after, when those messages were read out publicly, that was when I felt personally that I didn't really want to be a part of anything anymore. Only because I work in an industry where I'm in the public eye all the time. And, as much as you say, yes, YouTube is like, there's tens of thousands of people or whatever. It only takes one person to see me on a stream and go, I know that guy. And then my life is absolutely destroyed. And it's happened more than once. Like about 5 years ago, I tried to have a successful YouTube stream and I did okay. I got like maybe 100, 2,000, 200,000 views on a couple of videos that I posted. And they went well, but then it only took 3 or 4 people to make my success sort of, fall beneath the wayside. And then it became, so it became something that I didn't want to pursue anymore. And that was a pretty big fear for me, to be honest, that if I was to pursue anything like this any further, my whole career could sort of fall in pieces. And I know that might sound silly if it was just like, even though it was a very small stream, I just thought I've built myself up to be at this point, and Mick could probably back me up in saying that I've worked very hard to be where I am today. And I just thought
you make a really good point, to be honest. And
Yeah.
I feel like all of us sort of was walking on eggshells or whatever a little bit there, because when you did come on the stream, I felt a little bit like I had to try to fix the situation. And that's why when you first was like that, I sort of was trying to tell you just to chill out or whatever. But then, on other streams I've spoke to Sammy on, we've had a great old chat, and it's definitely what happened to Sammy and what happened with other people. It's definitely opened my eyes to if someone's uncomfortable with someone else, it's not really my job to try to fix it or sort it. Just let it happen, and and definitely, I don't think that was good or nice that he was sharing all those private messages because that was private and off stream. And the
Yeah,
point that I wanted to make about that is he wouldn't have liked it if someone did that to him. And we all, or a lot of us do know that he's had some interesting conversations with people that he wouldn't want to be on live. And that's why there was a lot of drama recently. And that's because of it. Private
yeah,
conversations that were
yeah,
starting to leak and come into lives. So
yeah.
if he doesn't want that to happen to him, why do it to you and try to make you look bad? And at the end of the day, you got a bit angry with him. As I said, everyone gets angry. You just got a bit. It got a bit heated. You said a few naughty words. Who gives a fuck, really?
Yeah.
Like you're just human, and you reacted, and we all react in the heat of the moment sometimes, and we regret
But
what we say. But at the end
the
of the day,
the
you're
thing
always
is,
welcome here, and you're welcome to talk about what you want, pretty much.
mm, but I don't regret what I said that night.
Yeah,
Because I still I like I've worked very hard to build the career that I have. I've worked very hard to do that, and
yeah, that's
I don't say what I say without a calculated response. And
mm,
all I want to do, G, is help people. Like YouTube's a great platform, and if people
mm,
can build a great media platform through YouTube, which I've seen people do, I've seen people go on and be great radio personalities and great podcasters just by
yeah.
using this platform. And I want people to be successful, but I don't want personal dirty laundry to be aired through a live stream because you just don't know who could be watching. I could have had my CEO of the whole entire company watching a live stream and not have known.
Can I
And then,
can I just rudely interrupt you for a second there, Sammy? Speaking of dirty laundry, we have someone backstage, and we have the Jedi himself.
G'day, g'day.
Welcome, Mark.
Thank you, thank you. I'm, as you can see, I'm in the piano room tonight. So
You still look
Oh.
like the bad guy on the Jedi movies.
It's Darth Sidious.
Where's the lightning? Where's the lightning? It's the damn chair, no matter where you sit. It'd be like if he were sitting in a diner, you could do a whole freaking rendition of what he was sitting having fine dining dinner in somebody else's living room. Oh, and I mean, what I can say on the point, what you guys are talking about is that I was obviously, all of you saw that I was hesitant in sharing any more than I had already put in the chat. I was not, I was trying to be I spoke with Mick and G, they both reached out. I didn't say anything to them that I didn't feel comfortable saying to everyone else. And I nicely put in my comment, and I had a conversation with Gian backstage, and I'm going to cry, but I still worry about him as much as I shouldn't. And again, that has everything to do with like Ben said, the narcissistic people in my life that have used me for personal gain. And I got a book over there. It's literally called Assholes, a Theory. And it states that people who use other people for personal gain are definition of asshole. Like you are using.
Why do you think I started to get annoyed about that shit, Mrs. Austin? Because he would just run off and like neglect you when you're in the middle of a conversation, even though I just kind of cut you off as well.
No, it's
but
fine.
Just I didn't feel like you was getting the respect and how much you help and how much it basically really was your channel because the amount of effort you put into it and she was like the positive, like Ben said earlier on, like you're like his YouTube mum and stuff like that, like you just have that really lovely energy, and you just like when we're all going chaotic, you're the person that brings it back together.
Yeah.
And what I said to you as well before is the reason that you still care about him or other people that may do that to you is because you're not an asshole. You're a good person, and even if people shit on you, you still care. You still wonder if they're okay, and that just is not a reflection of them. It's a reflection of you and who you are as a person. And you're a great
100%.
person, and that's why the chat went on fire when you showed up, because they all miss you. And as
Yeah,
we've said,
100%.
you're always welcome here, and you have a safe space here to talk what you want. And if we go over the few hour mark and you're still talking, don't worry, I'm not going to rush off to TikTok and just leave you. I'll let you speak.
Well,
I'll let you speak
my
for
main
another.
my main my main reason for continuing to come back after January, mid-February, I was already having, while I'm putting a lot of effort into this and I'm asking questions and I'm being told, do what you feel, and then nitpicked thereafter.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I was like, I don't pay for that. And he goes, well, if I had money, then I could pay for all of this, and then you could do it through me. And then comes the arguing and the fighting with my husband about money we don't really have for me to be sending.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I was like, no, we're good. I could send that money. And I sent a whole lot more than I usually did, because I, again, felt guilt, that.
Wow.
And then to have like 3 or 4 days later, have something come up and it'd be an issue, and, still have to pull money together to get that done. That's, my life. I choose to live paycheck to paycheck. I could work more and get more money. I just know that the people I can get the most money out of working for are people like him. And I can't continue to, put a price tag on
your mental health matters as well.
Yeah. Just sum it all up. Yeah, my mental health, because I have an extreme worth ethic. When I'm doing a project and I have so much time to do that project, I try to get as much of it done as I possibly can to bank, to bank what I have done, so that when it comes due, then I can turn it in, because I don't always have free time. And I'm awake right now because my schedule is still shit. I changed my sleeping schedule 10 months ago.
Yeah.
So it's still hard for me to get good sleep. It's still hard for me to go to bed before 6 a.m. my time.
Wow. This is a real shock for me to hear. I jumped on a stream probably about, I don't know, when was it? Maybe episode 92 or something. And I jumped on a stream because I honestly thought it was a huge sense of community. And I thought, wow, these are just amazing people that want to get together and, share stories of like their life and stuff and do that. And then I find out that there's this crazy stuff in the background going on. And it's like, wow, like it shocks me, because I honestly, I did everything that I did not to make money, but purely just to build up the community. I honestly thought, wow, what a great thing to be a part of. And then I hear things that are just torturous from the outside, and I just think, wow, if I ever knew that things like that were going on, I don't know if I would have been a part of it.
Well, yeah, Sammy, I'd say Sammy's the only person that didn't really hear or see when shit hit the fan of how I reacted, which wasn't in the best way. But I didn't know if, like, besides Sammy, I didn't know if everyone else on the panel would sort of want to speak to me again or even come up on here again, because it just got to the point that there was so many people that were getting upset by that person that I just find it hard after a while. Like normally I joke and act around, act the plonker, act the twat. But
Yeah.
sometimes when I see some injustice or I see people getting hurt and upset, and then when there was just a couple of comments towards me that did trigger me a bit and did make me pissed off, and Mick was telling me to calm down.
I'm going to fucking
And
calm down, just relax.
I said some swear words. I called the person, CUNT, and said a few other things, and just got very vocal about it because I went from text messages to voice messages pretty quickly. And but yeah, it turns out, I guess, that a lot of people had similar opinions, maybe not as rude as I said it, but Sammy was definitely another person that I did feel was getting treated like shit a bit. Where as I've got to know him, I've really enjoyed the conversations we've had,
All I wanted to do, G, was use my, and this is purely coming from, use my media experience and my communication skills to be able to help someone grow something that I honestly believed had a lot of potential. And I believed that if it was done correctly, it could have really escalated into something quite big. And he may have been able to build the following and do that kind of stuff. I never jumped on the stream with any kind of self sort of building. I've got my media career outside of what I do, and I honestly came on because I spend majority of my time in my life giving so much to everybody else that this was just something I could do for myself. And I wanted to help someone be successful, and I thought by coming on and doing the stuff that I did, like doing that 20-minute bit about Hungry Jacks, I never wanted to upset anyone or hurt anyone's feelings. I just wanted to help create content that would make people laugh and make people forget about life for 20 minutes,
We just come on to take the piss sometimes and have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
That's just what happens in this country. People take the piss, we have a bit of fun, have a bit of a laugh, and that's just what it is. I mean, I think, look, at the end of the day, the reason I came on the live stream, and look, I've got to be honest, I'm just going to be completely straightly up front. I'm really happy I started going on the live stream, regardless of him. I come on because he used to support me at every single fucking gig. Like, he'd come to heaps of gigs, like fucking heaps. Like, I'm talking, I've lost count. And it was fine. I was cool with that.
Well, he was going to a lot of gigs. He was going to a lot of gigs, Mick, before I even moved up. I was
just a little bit. I was a little bit sort of. I just felt a bit sort of. Look, he come to a lot of gigs. That's fine. I mean, I feel a bit shit that I should have kept the whole celebrity fan separate thing. I should have known. I come on because I thought I'd support something that he did because he was supporting me, and I was just trying to do the right thing by supporting him. And I don't regret doing it though, because I get to meet some fucking amazing people. I'm not talking about him. I get to meet Mark. We're fucking good mates now. I get to meet Mrs. Austin, who's wonderful. I get to meet G. We're good mates, and I fucking love that. That's. And realistically, to be quite honest, for a long time there, I was only coming on for you guys. I wasn't really going on for him because I saw some things at gigs that I didn't want to see. So it had nothing to do with the live stream.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm never going to have that personal experience with him. That was never a plan. It was never something that, I mean, I'm not getting an airplane. I'm sorry. Love all of you. Would love to shake your hands, give you big giant hugs one day, but come to America because I'm not getting on a plane.
Don't you fly? You don't like flying?
No. Fuck no.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, I didn't
Put me in a
realise.
giant metal sausage and throw me over an ocean? No. Fuck no. No.
Little sausage.
I was
I don't give a
actually
fuck how smart those pilots are,
I thought-
how the engineers are. Don't give two fucks how smart they are. I've seen some really, really intelligent, smart men do stupid shit. I'm not getting an airplane.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I was actually talking to my
MH370.
What?
MH370.
What's that?
That's that plane that went missing.
Oh, yeah, it did go missing.
And it's probably like the
9,999
9,999 one of them that's gone missing. I would be on one of them. I would.
I'm flying next Wednesday.
Well,
Oops.
we better say hello to him because I'm sure he's listening.
I don't care.
And the giant metal sausage that's just thrown over the ocean.
Oh,
When I first started, well, I found you guys. It was YouTube that in the algorithm. I wasn't searching for anything; it just came up, and I started watching before I actually came on, and I actually did start enjoying myself, and I started interacting with you guys, getting to know you guys, and it was good. It turned out that him and I had similar interests, both involved with railway museums and so on and so forth. But as time went on, I could only come on when I can, and I said that from the outset. And it was a good thing. It started going really well. Like Sammy said, he they both, Mrs. Austin and him, worked at it. To you had your ups and downs, and I could also see how he, over time, he was growing as a person. He was getting more confident, even though it was difficult for him. And I'm sure it's difficult for you at times, Miss Austin, to be up here because of the time difference and so on. However, as time went on, I would suggest some things, like I suggested to everybody, how to improve things or maybe change things, and nothing changed. And then suddenly, when the crap hit the fan, we find out different things. I left it for a while before I reached out to Mrs. Austin privately and spoke to her, just through text messages. But, he told me things that I believe what he said, and which I know now that are not the case. And, I was really disappointed. I've been meaning to try and, I haven't done it on purpose, but I was planning to have a conversation with you, G, just to. I'm still trying to work some things out because there's some things I just don't understand, and
that's right. I'm a pretty complex individual.
Yeah, I just it's we all need help, and it's. We just sometimes we can't solve all our problems ourselves, and I don't know where we've all got our idiosyncrasies, and I don't know what makes him tick or why he does what he does, yeah. But when I first started coming on and watching you guys and talking with you guys and watching what you're talking about, it was good. I really enjoyed it. As Sammy said, it could have been a great thing, but unfortunately, it fell in a heap real quick.
And I genuinely did. I loved doing the streams when they first started. I'd actually look forward to coming home and jumping on with all of you guys and having a chat to see where the night would sort of take us, and then for some reason it became very, very serious all of a sudden, and it became very driven about money and all building views and stuff like that, and it was something that I wasn't sort of too worried about, because for me it was just that switch off between work and socializing. Like even now we're sitting here and we're having a social conversation, and we haven't brought up the whole count of views or whatever, and that's what I enjoyed about it. I enjoyed the social aspect. I enjoyed that I could come home, and at 5 or 6 p.m. I could jump in the shower, and then by 7:30, 8 o'clock I could grab a couple of beers, and it was like going on and having a chat with mates after a long day at work, just to switch off. And then all of a sudden it became driven about money and views, and how many views they could get to. And if people have done YouTube for a long enough time, and this is no disrespect to anyone, I promise you when I say this, but if you've done YouTube for a long enough time, people should know that you can't jump straight into YouTube and make a shitload of money. It's not possible. It's not. And it's great to have aspirations and dreams, but a lot of the people you see that do YouTube full time and stuff, it's because they've grinded their ass out. No, when I say grinded their ass out, I mean they've worked their ass off to build their channel up to where it is, and they've been lucky enough to build that following. But it doesn't just happen. It can't just happen. There's a lot of preparation involved, and there's a lot of things behind the scenes, as you'd know, G, that you have to do behind the scenes to make a stream successful. You can't just jump onto a stream and go, I'm going to do this, it's going to be successful overnight. And I even ask myself the question, if I'm being completely real. I do a drive show that goes out to 57,000 people a day. And the first question I ask myself when I wake up in the morning is, how can I be different today? How can how can I get those 57,000 people to listen to me again after they've already heard me that, the day before that or the day before that. And, it doesn't just happen. It takes a lot of work. Like I spend 2 or 3 hours of my day, talking with my program director and writing scripts and doing all that stuff to make
and that's what I was doing for him. I was doing all of that. I was trying my damnedest to plan everything, to bring content. And it got to the point where some people who quit interacting a long time ago, stopped paying attention. And a lot of what I was trying to bring to the table was exactly what you're saying, content. Like, let's talk about this tonight. Like, you don't want to talk about the news, you don't want to talk about politics, that's fine, but how about we talk about like the social aspect of what kind of differences between the United States and Australia. We did that for 2 months and started just talking about the 5 things that he likes to talk about, which was because I was being told backstage, we're not talking about me enough.
What are they? Me, and what was the 5th one? Was that me as well? Or?
Well, no, because technically the 5th one was group. The 5th one was a group thing. All of the other 4 were pretty much what one person does by themselves. Yes. Yeah, right. Very much. The 5th one was music and being, live music. You can't. I mean, you can, if you're rich, pay a live band to sit while you're sitting there by yourself and watch them if you got that kind of money to throw around. But pretty much, it was. And for a while, it was almost, new people were coming in and it was getting to know them and getting to know. Like, I was fine with the highlighting a new person on the chat and getting to know them. That was the best way for all of us best way for me to get to know someone was to sit back and, not I'm here to listen. I'm listening, I'm being attentive. I'm being respectful, and that's just what, that's what I was doing. But then it wasn't, by the time Mark was up more often, it was, we need controversy. We need controversy. We need controversy. How can I make controversy? And I'm like,
is that what he was saying backstage? Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Controversy.
He never conveyed that to me.
Yeah.
Oh, I got threats. You know, if I wasn't going to bring in any more content to the live, then he was going to bring, you know, my arch nemesis.
Yes.
Who made death threats against my wife.
Is that Toto guy?
Yeah. That he would bring him
just,
back.
I went back and watched some of the, you know, the older streams, and that dude's just an emotional wreck. Like crying and all the rest of it.
There was actually one night you were not on, Miss Austin, and he actually came on. I think Robbo brought him back. I don't know. But I was really surprised.
What episode was that? Because I tried to ask and he told me he didn't really, you know,
I'd have to go back
the number because I went back to look
It was when I was around because I didn't go up on panel and stuff that night because I just found it really awkward. And Benj was on there.
I was actually surprised that he was there, because I didn't think he was going to have him on again. But
he asked me nicely at first if it was okay. Like, do you mind? And I was like, I don't mind. You're giving me a day off, sure. That's how I felt. Like at the point where I was there all the time and I was just being treated like I would get told a lot during the live. You're not talking. And I was like, I don't have anything to talk about. And then because the reason I was saying that was because I was being told backstage, you're talking too much.
Can I ask you a question? Can I just ask you a question? And
sure.
This is got no disrespect to you whatsoever, because I fucking love you and you're fucking awesome. I get the whole manipulation thing and narcissistic thing, but why did you put up with that? Why? Like what? Why?
Exactly what I told. Exactly what I told G, because guys like Howard Stern and his co-host, they don't always get along. They don't always agree on everything. That's good entertainment. That's good, you know, because we all have opinions. We all have our own backstories. We all have our own, you know, agendas. We all have our own aspirations, you know, our own dreams and where we see ourselves from this point. While we're on the panel, we're bringing our expertise and who we are, our personality to that panel. 100% understandable if you come on, G comes on and wants to play a different character. You know, changing the names, playing with the names, and hey, I'm this today, and you know, like it's understandable.
My name.
It's understandable. But you know what I mean? If that's, I don't mean to downplay anybody here, but if that's your stick, then that's your stick. If it works, it works, right? Like Sammy was saying, you know, you build your brand, you build your.
Yeah. I don't play any characters. This is all me. This is all me. The 126 different versions of me. I'm streaming on 3 different channels as well, so this is Funkin' Hungry, Hyper Sapien,
and I'll back Mrs. Austin as well there, Mick, if I can just interject. Because, you know, I work on my podcast as well, and I have a producer. So basically, obviously from what Mrs. Austin has said, she was playing the producer role for this certain person, which is a really tough gig. And I have a producer in my podcast that is, sometimes we don't see eye to eye. And we've just finished off an episode where we've actually had to have some really tough conversations where I'm like, mate, I'm not happy with this, I'm not happy with that. I'm going to need you to swallow your pride here so the product can be finished to the level that I need it to be finished at. And as much as we both got quite angry with each other, we've just finished off this episode that basically pushed us both to our limit. But we've finished with a very solid product. And when there's a lot of when there's a lot of take, but there's not so much give, it can become quite stressful. And, you know, you do want to see the person that you're working with succeed. And sometimes you can be driven to push harder than you probably should be. And there are times where you won't, where, you know, your judgment will be clouded. And, you know, you'll be pushed to higher limits. And I don't think it's anybody's fault.
But I want to say something, but Sam,
yeah,
you're getting paid to do that job. There's a big difference when it's a job. There's a big difference when that's a job. Mrs. Austin and Robbo are not getting paid to do this shit, and Robbo.
I wasn't getting paid. No. I wasn't getting paid.
Oh,
okay. He the whole time was getting, someone was funding something.
Yes, yeah. And
because
that's not right.
You would hear him, I'm saving my money. I'm saving my money. He was always saving money. And then he would, like you said, at one point it became donations. Hey, no one's doing this, so we can't do this anymore. No one's doing that, so we can't do that anymore. No one's doing this, no one's doing that. You know,
right.
And it would get to the point where, it would get to the point where, like, backstage, before Mark started coming on all the time, and he made Mark, you know, admin backstage. It was very much, are you gonna be able to help me pay for these streams? And
but
then
when you said that, I felt bad and offered you, like, you know, me to help chip in because I was becoming like a regular.
I don't want to admit how much money I wasted on TikTok. I told you guys how much I sent for StreamYard and things like that, but I do not want to admit how much money I wasted on TikTok.
Right. I get it.
Well, one thing I'll say is
I understand that comment now, G. Thanks for the clarification.
Well, what I wanted to say quickly in regards to Mrs. Austin is when he used to run off to TikTok just to be with people that he ended up actually upsetting so much, and they obviously became bullies or trolls on his channel. And that was because of his inappropriate behavior towards them. So he was running off to be with them, which ended up obviously backfiring. But I just felt bad for Mrs. Austin, how much time and effort she puts into it and staying awake. And sometimes she would just end the stream. We'd both be sitting there still not on the live stream, but still in the app, the program or whatever. So we would just talk for maybe an hour or whatever. She told me quite a lot of stuff that started making me very disappointed in the behavior of that person. And you even said that basically, like, Mrs. Austin felt uncomfortable coming to other people's channels because it would cause issues between them. So she didn't feel comfortable coming onto my channel and
and again, it was innocent
being on my lives or even on my videos, even though.
Comment.
So I just said to her, like, who gives a shit? Like, she's always welcome. Come and, like, comment on my shitty videos if she wants to. All that stuff, like, made her know that she's welcome. And if there was an issue, that I would, step in and say some shit if I had to, because I just didn't like that controlling behavior. I've been around that all my life. I won't go into too much detail.
And it's not so much that I just didn't want the backlash. Obviously, you guys see the backlash. I didn't want that.
But that moody,
why he's
childish
blocked on everything, and I finally came up here. Because I don't want the backlash. I'm not welcoming the backlash. Because that man snoring right there just needs an excuse.
Because I will say as well, I actually really enjoyed when Mrs. Austin first commented on my Funkin' Hungry channel. She is a part of the Hyper Sapien, which is my hobby channel and stuff. Yeah. But when I first saw a comment, I knew that it probably was quite big for her to, do that, and I just felt very humbled and just was very happy that she did decide to comment and stuff, and just slowly over time we've been communicated more and more.
Like I said, I've been very closed off, and it's not because I want to answer your guys' questions, because yes, my comment in the chat was very broad, as broad as I was comfortable making it. Or I'm sorry, as descriptive, I guess,
Not
as
as-
I was comfortable
not as
making,
broad as
because I
mine.
wasn't very, I was not,
You were pretty reserved.
I was not trying to go into, I don't want you guys to hate someone because of me. I don't want to change your perception of someone of me, but knowing that each one of you have reached out, each one of you have been like, if she can't even be on stream, I already cry enough as it is, and I feel bad when I do, but I couldn't even be
No,
on.
don't feel bad. Go for it. If you need to release that, that.
I'm just saying,
fucking,
I don't.
You know what's funny?
I don't
I've
want to
called this
manipulate
laugh, cry, cringe. So I'm doing the cringe part. Sammy's doing the laugh part, and you're doing the cry part. We covered it all.
I don't want to manipulate anyone. I don't, just because someone
You know-
hurt my feelings. Again, I could be having a bad day. They could be having a bad day. Doesn't mean they're intentionally going out of their way to do this, but to find out that, I mean, just having Binge write that in the chat, like, he's the youngin'. Like, why are you telling him anything? Like, you shouldn't be giving him any type of dirt on any of us. He's a young kid. He's a young kid. He's impressionable, if anything, compared to the rest of us. He's impressionable. You shouldn't be trying to manipulate an 18-year-old kid into thinking a certain way about other people who have yet to give him a reason to feel a certain way about other people. Like, that's how I felt about it. Like,
Bench is pretty clued on.
And there were times where he was giving me information, and I felt like he was telling me so that I wasn't, broadsided with information, which I want. I wrote that in the chat. Like, okay, no more this, but if he does anything bad, please, for the love of God, let me know. Please let me know. But at the same time, I don't want to manipulate the context, and that's why I'm glad that we all can get up here and we can all be civil with the conversations that we're having. We're not, and again, I meant it wholeheartedly. I wish him the best. I really do hope he's okay. I did make that comment to G. I do worry about his mental health. That was one of the reasons why he says he started the channel, and I believe that in his own way, that the mental health lives and the feeling of community that Sammy's talking about, and speaking on our mental health and how important it is for self-care and how important it is for us to be able to feel safe in a space where we can voice our opinions, even if, someone wants to label it, whatever the hell they want to label it. We just, when we need to vent, we need to know that we're in a safe space to do that.
And
a lot of the times I felt like he gave us that space and then took it away, and then like punishment. He would take that away from people as punishment, and I was not. That's what I was getting uncomfortable with.
And
People thought that was my channel as well for a while. I was getting comments saying, "What happened to that channel?" I'm like, "It's not my. It's not my channel." And I wasn't even on it as long as that, Mrs. Austin and stuff. But people thought it.
See, and I haven't gotten those comments yet. So
I still ask the question tonight, before I come up on streams, is he okay? And then someone said, "Oh, yeah, I think he's doing fine. He's still posting on Facebook, so I think he's okay." But it's a question that I still ask myself, not on a daily basis, but regularly. Because, like I said, it was a great thing that he was doing and bringing people together. I think it's amazing, but I'm just, some of the things that I've heard and some of the hurt that he's caused a lot of people. I never wanted to be a part of that, and I could never I could never put my name to anything like that, and I only ever want to see people be successful. I mean, people can say to me, "Oh, you're arrogant, you're cocky, or whatever," but I've worked the hard yards. I did a lot of stuff for a lot of years where it was unpaid. It went very under the radar. I was very disrespected for a long time, and it was only within the last maybe 3 or 4 years that I've actually started to build a little bit of respect, and people go, "Oh, we'll actually pay you to do this because we believe you can sell a good product." And the only person that's sort of been there through that whole journey, and he'll be able to back it up, is Mick. He when I was young, like real young, 15, 16, I remember going to Mick's place as a very, very shy 15-year-old, as someone with a disability that just wanted to start vocal lessons, basically. And I started doing vocal lessons, and within 12 months, my confidence grew. And I remember having pretty tough conversations with Mick, saying, like, what do you want to do, and where do you see yourself being? And I saw this very, very, very talented musician, and everything that Mick did, he would sort of get me involved in. So he was on the X Factor, so I was on the X Factor, because he just wanted to see me build success and meet the contacts that he was meeting. And then all of a sudden, it was literally like a switch overnight, where I just said to Mick one day, I said, "Mate, I've been accepted into this university course where 15 people get accepted throughout Australia, and I think this is my ticket into bigger and better things." And he said to me, whatever you choose to do, I'll back you.
Except sing.
Except sing, because I just can't sing for shit. And for a long time, I would do things for free. I would work 5-6 nights a week in venues on very little money. Like, I would, even the stand-up gigs that I did, there was times where I was traveling 7 or 8 hours to do gigs for maybe $150, just anything I could sort of do to scrape through. And never once did I ask for a handout or say I'm poor or do this and do that. And I'm not rich by any means. I'm not a rich broadcaster. I don't think I'll ever be a rich broadcaster. But now I can say for the first time ever that I'm comfortable. And to hear that someone could take from people that were only just sort of trying to scrape through and make a means for themselves, and that's really hurt me tonight. Because I know how hard it is to work hard, and not ask for handouts and stuff. So the feelings that you guys are feeling right now after putting so much time and effort into something, I think it's granted, and it really hurts me that there was no payoff for you guys. That really,
unfortunately, some people want to. Some people do everything to help themselves or build. Like I've paid for all my logos and all my merch and all whatever to do with my channel. I have had a few donations, but the people who gave me donations, I've done reviews they wanted, but I have said to them that I find it hard to accept money and stuff like that. And
I was prepared to pay G $200 US to commission something for Rava.
Yeah, he was talking about doing. Well, Mrs. Austin was
literally 2 weeks before.
I wasn't going to tell her, but I don't know if I could have accepted that money for her. So maybe we would have maybe gone halves with what we was going to do for the product, but I wouldn't have been able to take the money for the commission.
It was a commemorative thing for him, and that was something that I would do for. That was something that I would do for a friend. That's not something that I would do. Like I would do that for my kids and my sister and my husband. You know,
Yeah.
I seriously saw him like a brother. You know, I cared about him like a brother. I communicated with him daily up until about a month and a half ago. And just like when I check in with you guys in the chat, you know, I sometimes feel like, oh, I miss the doggies. See, I'm spoiled. I get to see your Facebook, so I get to see them all the time. So it's like, oh, I didn't have to miss the pups. But I stayed away. I stayed away because was still emotional about it.
Yeah.
I'm still hurt that I would allow someone to coerce me. And again, you guys, the support that I got from you guys, I could not put I can't put monetary value to that. You know, I
well,
felt
now you're
like
stuck with us, and we're not gonna let people shun you anymore.
No.
you know,
Especially with
and
Nick around.
I feel
Nick's
I feel sorry for you because you got to fucking put up with me. But
And me.
but
Just-
it's okay.
Just
I just wanted to say quickly, I'm drinking a port from a port pub. I'm like a fucking old man. It's not. It's
I
not
thought you was gonna.
non-alcoholic.
I thought you was gonna put. I thought you were going to put some ganja in that.
I wish.
I am.
It's not non-alcoholic because I don't hire hookers and have cuddles. Okay.
What do you do with them?
you got to put the cork back in your leg, Meg. You got to put the cork.
What?
You got to put the cork back in your leg.
hang on a minute. Sammy's having a heart
He's
attack.
fucked up. He's
Oh,
going,
mate.
because it's true. If you have a fucking
You broke.
if you have a
Sammy.
decaf coffee, if you have a decaf coffee,
shit.
or if you have a decaf coffee or a fucking non-alcoholic drink, it's like hiring a hooker and having a cuddle. I'm sorry.
I drink. That's all I do all day is drink coffee.
Real coffee, I hope.
Actually,
it's a question.
disgusting.
it's considered real coffee to me because it's Mexican espresso coffee.
Mick,
What
Mick,
are we going to
that's
say, Mark?
disgusting.
Mark wants to
I
speak.
was just
Arriba.
has anyone had contact with him since it all went down?
No.
Okay. Well, Mick and I had a few conversations, different at times. I think it was a few days after it, Mick. Mick was straight to the point with him, where I was a bit more subtle.
Oh, yeah, I spoke to him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
did. But you know, I suggested some things, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I should do that. Maybe I should do that." But in hindsight, all the stuff I suggested, all that stuff I sent everyone each time I talked about that group, Think Media, you know, that actually help YouTubers to improve their streams and all this sort of stuff, just didn't take. It was like a train going through a tunnel, in one ear and out the other. You know, did nothing, changed nothing. Nothing Mick said.
But
nothing
he
I
told
said.
me to write down the website. He told me to write it down and watch the videos.
Yeah, but
Yeah, right.
What? Because you watching
I
them
was
is
the
going to
one
what?
doing all the editing.
What the fuck was that going to do?
Mrs.
I told him
You know, sometimes
after we went open panel and he was like, you don't have to write names down anymore. And I was like, oh, I'm still going to highlight people. Like if I'm still going to be on it. Because I have to worry, like Sammy said, I gotta worry about my own page.
Was I on the problem? Was I on the problem part? Did you put my name with a circle? Question mark. Like,
Was I on the fucking problem? I was on the problem. I wasn't like, come on, please tell me I was on the problem.
No, you were not on the problem. Hi, Becky. Hi, Dylan. No, G, you were on the list back in the early days. I'm not gonna lie to you anymore. You were on the list.
I want to be on the list.
So you was telling. I know you was telling me porcupines.
It's like fucking Schindler's List. I want to be on the list.
Of course, I said no because what I was showing you guys was the newer stuff. I wasn't going to out him again. I've never tried to.
So yeah, he wasn't lying. He was just saying I wasn't on the naughty list anymore.
You weren't on my naughty list, is what I said, because I'm not a liar. I wouldn't have outright not told you up until now. But again,
I made it on the naughty list.
I wasn't here to. Well, he voiced that you were an issue in other people's panel. On another
an issue
person's
everywhere.
panel who was deleted.
Everywhere I go, I'm an issue.
So
Was I ever on the
always
list?
with the list. I do. I have a list. I had a list
Was
of
I
people.
ever on the
Lincoln
list?
Kane knows who I am. If I go on Lincoln Kane's stream, he'll call out, "Oh, Funkin' Hungry." He knows who I am.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. That was the live, but
I need more.
Again,
was I
it's
ever on the list? Did I ever
Sammy,
make the
no.
list?
No, never. Well, with the Hungry Jack thing, it was I'm not happy with Sammy, and basically it was like don't like him anymore.
I'm on the list.
But that was, like I said, after a certain point, that's kind of how it was. And like G was saying, he hit the nail on the head when he said the controlling attitude that he had. It was very much, it went from I'm my own person to I'm possessive. I'm a possession of him.
List. Can you just put me on the list now? Can
we make a new? Can we make a new list from now?
No, I mean there were people that were somehow like hacking my YouTube account and like making comments from before I even had a YouTube account, like the dates on them.
So and all those people. You know all those people, those fucking, what did he call them? Trolls that are on his thing. They weren't trolls. They were just people that sort of didn't like him, right? People that knew this truth, right? Because
I'm guessing for pure, human interaction, I want to say that a lot of the trolls came back for us. They didn't come back for him. They were there to see what we had to talk about. And they were there to hear the content. And a lot of the times, yes, he had something to say, but the majority of the trolls I felt like were just to listen to him slip up. And if you watch back on some of those replays, you will see it. You'll see the person that we're talking about. You'll see the glimpse of it. You'll see the,
I'm not going to fucking eat the shit.
Narcissistic stuff and everything like that. But you'll see that he forgot he was on panel for a minute, or someone else forgot we were on panel and we were just having an honest conversation, and he would say something that would be a little like, where'd that come from? Like, wait, we didn't talk about it. Or it would be like he would communicate something backstage and be like, I don't want to talk about this. And then when it seemed like dead air, it was the topic of and that bothered me.
What the fuck are you doing, Sam?
Sammy, I thought you'd given up drinking.
He's working on it.
He's full of shit. Okay.
Wait, when did I say I was giving up drinking?
Earlier
on.
It's not alcoholic. It's not alcoholic. It's not alcoholic.
I think he said he's going to give it up. He hasn't gave it up yet. He's just in the mood.
Hold on, I'm just going to ring.
He said he's been on a diet, taking really good care, and he just.
Yeah, no, I've definitely been on a diet, but yeah, no, alcohol's the hard thing for me. I love a beer. I'm not an alcoholic, but I just love a beer. Like when I finish work, I just love 2 or 3 beers every night, and so I've had a bit of family struggle at the moment, and I said to just for a bit of camaraderie that at the end of September I'm going to give up alcohol, just for a bit of camaraderie to support my brother. He's going through a bit of a hard time at the moment, and I just to support him. I'm going to give up alcohol, and I love a drink. I love a beer, but just to support him, I'm going to give up alcohol, and I hope that I can make him feel better. But yeah. So yeah, I don't by any means drink copious amounts at night and stuff like that, but he's had a lot of struggles with alcoholism and stuff like that, and
Is Travis still in there?
Yeah, he's come off life support now, and I've found out that he's just gone into rehab, and
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you told me.
He's gonna be okay, but
that's a lot.
Yeah, my family are so passionate about what I've done, and the career I've built for myself. They will do anything to make sure that I stay focused and achieve my dreams, right? And I found out 2 days ago that my brother was on life support. And he's okay now, but
you didn't know beforehand, though.
I didn't know beforehand because people knew how emotional I'd get. I love my family to bits, and I would move heaven and earth for them, and I just found out 2 days ago that he's been on life support, and he come off life support about 3 weeks ago, and he's been in rehab for 4 weeks, and I didn't know, and it was through his alcoholism and just being an alcoholic that his body can't cope anymore, and I decided that if he's going to do it, I'm going to do it, and that's just how it'll be from now on. My family is very driven around alcohol, and they their whole social aspect is about alcohol and how it all works and stuff like that. And like, my family are great people, but I just feel like they're a little bit driven by the wrong kind of things. So I thought, well, if he's going to do it, I'm going to back him.
That's amazing. That's a struggle too.
Sharing that, Sammy, and all the best with it.
I'm going to back him, and we haven't always seen eye to eye, but when shit gets real, it gets real. There's no, and I'm sure Mrs. Austin's seen that in the last couple of weeks. I've seen the photos and some of the stuff that you've had to deal with, and I know I haven't reached out or said anything.
Oh no! Yes. Don't you worry, Sam.
It's life shit sometimes, and
everyone in the chat is sending you love as well, Sammy.
Definitely.
Everyone's in the chat sending you all their love.
Oh, thanks for that, guys. I did start off by sort of making a little bit of light of it, that I was going to give up alcohol, and I've pulled out another beer out of the fridge. But I've decided at the end of the month I am gonna call it quits.
Fuck, you choose to get emotional on the fucking live stream. You didn't get emotional when we spoke on the phone the other night. Fucking hell, Sam.
Are you? You're next.
Know that the hardest thing for me to give up was cigarettes, and just at the end of this month, 5 days before I got married, so the 26th, 27th of this month will be 3 years that I haven't had a cigarette.
Yeah,
I didn't purely because my husband said he didn't want to marry an ashtray. I hated him for 90 days. Like, I literally wanted to just punch him in the face for the first 90 days. Cigarettes never did anything wrong to me. I smoked a whole pack, every cigarette I had, and rolled tobacco even. Mixed it with my THC cannabis, and just to get away from it, it took a good 3 weeks for me to be like, I need to mentally prepare myself for this, because again, I don't have, thank goodness, knock on wood, I don't have anything like lung cancer, any major bad breathing. I mean, everyone loved my voice when I smoked cigarettes because, you know, it was all raspy, you know, things like that.
In Selma.
Yeah. I struggled, and the one thing that I was told by an addiction counselor that I should have done was write a list of things that I choose to do other than. So things that I know that were going to give me the same type of joy that I got from smoking a cigarette, because, you know, that first thing in the morning. And I mean, I'm bad. I still smoke nicotine. I haven't given up nicotine. But night, Rolfus. I definitely should have written a list. Should have written something, because I would force myself to go on walks and like take a deep breath. And like, this is what not smoking is. And I hate walking. So it was not,
me
you know,
too,
3 weeks in, I was like, just give me a cigarette. Just give me a damn cigarette. So that's when I started smoking, you know, the liquid nicotine stuff.
Sam,
which I'm still slowly trying to get away from.
Huh?
I'm no longer buying disposables. I'm no longer going to buy any more liquid juice. Once I'm done and I'm out, I'm giving that up as well. But this time I'm going to do something healthy with mine. So I'm going to start, as much as this sounds funny, I don't like walking, but sitting still is even like, why? So I'm going to start meditating and like start sitting in like nature and just, I don't know. I'm obsessed with shag carpeting since I was a kid, because I wasn't allowed to lay on grass because I'm allergic to it. So I would just lay on shag carpeting and like rub it, like, oh, this must be what grass feels like. And then no, but obviously not. But I'm gonna start meditating. I'm gonna start going and sitting in nature and just listening to nature and taking in nature, because I know that not being around anymore because I'm stuck to nicotine and, you know, I'm segregated from everybody, from I'm missing out. You know, I feel like I'm missing out, and I definitely would rather be present. So I definitely feel like meditating is going to help with that, you know, being physically present in the moment. This last weekend that I went out, it was hard for my husband. He's a recovering alcoholic. He has not had any alcohol in 5 years. November will be 5 years. That's been hard on him. Just being around people who get to the point where they're so intoxicated like he used to be, where he'd be like falling down, and photos just came up on Facebook yesterday about him laying on the ground in the middle of Reno, Nevada, which is a big gambling, you know, well, not big, not like Vegas, but like a mini Vegas. And he's like, yeah, I can't even look at those photos of myself anymore. Like, I look at them and I know that's not me. Like, that's not who I was. So definitely getting a different outlook, you know, is going to be the benefit. I know that doing it in solidarity with your brother is definitely going to be a motivating factor for you. And like you said, kind of giving back to the family that supported you, you know, giving back to your brother who supported you and all that you've done, you know, is definitely going to be, but I know it won't be enough. I mean, I love you, Sammy. You're an amazing person, but I know that just the motivation, because he, like, I want to help him, but why? You know, kind of feeling, just know that the expectations you put on yourself will cause more fear than it will, you know, progress.
100%.
So and it's like I said the other day. It's like I said the other day too, Sam. Like, do what you got to do, which is completely fine. But Travis has got to deal with this, and he's also got to deal with the fact that a lot of people in society and his life are going to be drinking. So he has to work that out himself.
I mean, you know, you've been around it as well, Mick. Like, you were, like I said, we've known each other for we've known each other for a long time.
My ex.
So, you know, you've been around it when situations were quite bad and stuff like that, and you know, so you've seen it firsthand, which is So, you know, and it was probably just a factor that was actually gonna come eventually, because when you abuse body so hard, and you do the things that.
Here I am drinking. Sorry.
It's
port. It's port. It's port.
I'm still having a beer tonight, but I don't know. Like it's I've been a little bit shaken up because so everyone would have heard that the lead singer of Smash Mouth passed away, and that was liver failure. And I was lucky enough to be on tour with the guys from Smash Mouth back in 2018. And all I was doing, I got up on stage. I did a couple of opening sets for those guys for their Australian tour. And when I was talking to the lead singer of Smash Mouth, I didn't think, he's gonna die in 5 years. That wasn't a thing. And then so that's happened. And now hearing about my brother, like 2 days ago, I was just like, fuck, like, this, it's not a good thing. I mean, there's obviously a lot more than just alcohol that does the damage, but yeah, there's been a lot in the last 3 weeks that I've sort of had to come to terms with, like hearing that Steve was in palliative care was a bit shocking. Like I wasn't expecting to hear that after being lucky enough to work with those guys 5 years ago, and hearing that now as a 56-year-old or whatever, he was in palliative care, and then all of a sudden I hear that my brother was on life support for the similar reasons. I mean, it wasn't quite as bad, but it was nearly as bad, and I just thought, wow, that's how quick life can change.
Yeah.
And
what I'd say is, if you want to make those positive changes for yourself, it's a really good idea, but don't be afraid to fall over. If you do fall a few times before you find your direction, don't sort of feel too bad, or be upset about it if you do slip up. But if you don't, and you're strong enough to, after September, to just walk away from it, then that's great as well.
Gee, I'm really sorry, man, but I won't be walking.
He's a fucking idiot. See? The fuck? Seriously.
Normally it's Mick that says that shit to me. Now I've got 2 of them.
No, it's all these cunts.
Even Mick didn't pick that one up.
Well, I fucking did. I just didn't say anything. I was all in the head.
In his head, he's like, "Oh, fucking idiot." He's like,
"Oh, for fuck's sake!"
Fuck, the stream's got a bit dark. I don't really
like it. Fuck.
Let's go to light.
No, that's just.
Has anyone seen?
There you go. Now it's all light.
Has anyone seen Sound of Freedom?
No,
I haven't. I want to see it though, but I'll wait till it comes.
Fucking please go and watch it, or go somewhere watch it. It is fucking extremely important. It's a movie, yeah, but it's not really like a movie. It's a movie, but it's
a documentary.
Real. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening now, like right now as we speak. It's really, really, really good. Fuck me dead. I wheeled out of that fucking cinema, and I've never. Nothing's ever affected me as much as that film did, ever.
Do you know where we can watch it?
It's Angel Studios. It's a religious studio stream. But the only reason it's not a religious, because it's the only one that'll pick it up, because Hollywood's trying to suppress it, because Hollywood are part of it.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, but Angel Studios accepted it. Plus, it's religious, and Jim Caviezel is the actor. Jim Caviezel was Jesus in Passion of the Christ. And Mel Gibson is backing it, and yeah, it's pretty good. It's devastating. It's a little bit hard to watch. Not easy to watch. But
yeah, I've been a little bit scared to watch it, to be honest.
It's important to watch, though. I think everyone should watch it. for the reason for what it is. Because it's
because it's the reviews I've seen on it. When people have come out of the movie cinema after watching it, they're an emotional wreck, and I don't know if I can handle that right now. Like I definitely have the respect for what the documentary is about. You can't really call it a movie because to me it's not a movie. It's a documentary that people really need to see. But I don't feel at the moment, and I mean I definitely do want to watch it, but I don't feel at the moment I'm sitting with enough mental capacity to be able to have an objective view on
makes
Sound of
sense.
Freedom at the moment.
Yeah.
If you're struggling mentally, some of that
Yeah.
stuff, because when I used to research a lot of that sort of stuff, I used to be heavily into just keeping my, just learning as much as I can about it. But because I have depression and stuff myself, it definitely does trigger that.
Yeah.
And, sometimes I had to step away just because of my own mental health, because you feel like you can't do anything. You feel like, you're powerless. It's like I always used to say, and I did have a group as well on Facebook and stuff, like knowledge is infinite and knowledge is power. And, if people can come together and learn this sort of stuff, but sometimes you do lose faith that you can actually do anything by spreading awareness on this stuff.
I think the awareness is
And I
important.
can,
The reason they're doing it is, the reason they're doing it is because of that. That's
Yeah. So I definitely do want to watch Sound of Freedom. I think I think the message is important to share, and I think the truth behind the message of the documentary is important. But I don't feel like for me, I don't feel like the movie cinema is the place for me to watch it. I feel like
it is a movie.
The privacy of your own home or something.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it is a movie. It's not really a doco, but it's the reason I can say doco is because it's real life. It's what's happening.
Yeah.
It's not based on true events. It's based on real life. It's what's happening. But it's not that hard to watch, G. Like, it's hard, but there are some bits in it where you sort of get a bit sort of excited, like you get sort of happy that certain things are happening. And it's
right.
There's little bits of action in it, and because it's about this guy, Tim Ballard, who's over there doing this stuff to save all these children, and it's pretty cool. Some of it's pretty good to watch too. It's not entirely devastating. Yeah, it's sort of cool. Yeah. So it's all good. I just thought I'd mention it because it's a really good film.
Yeah, no, it's definitely because
I've heard reviews too. The good reviews, like you're saying. Everything that you're saying, I've heard. But I don't think that we have access to it here yet. I know that I saw it was going to come up somewhere.
Yeah. Watch it's like I said, Angel Studios, but you can't watch it on Angel Studios yet. I think we got to wait till it's finished at cinema.
Yeah.
I want to look at it on Angel Studios, but I can't. It doesn't look like you can watch it off there at the moment. It's there, but it's not available to just click on.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Oh fuck! There's got a lot of shit out tonight. It's sort of good. It's like a bit therapeutic.
Well, I have to say that I was feeling super shit today, and I was not going to stream, but I'm very happy that I did, and I got to speak to all you lovely people. And I think that giving the platform for everyone to connect, and because Sammy was a little bit unaware of what some of the stuff that's happening, Mark possibly as well, and and everyone as well who are in the chat can see that maybe I'm not as big of a prick as I possibly was when it first happened.
But
you're not a prick. You're not a prick.
It was kind of strange because I so the night after, because I was a little bit angry with Robbo fuck, I shouldn't have said his name, but
That's all right. Most people know.
I did it too.
I was a little bit angry, after he aired the private chat. So that's when I didn't go on to sort of sabotage. I never wanted to sabotage, but I did sort of hit the stream with a different angle of view, and no one sort of knew the stuff that he'd said to me behind the scenes. Like I kept it very much to myself, but then all of a sudden I find out that he's talking exactly the same way to people that how he spoke to me. He's treating the people that, were there to build him up exactly how he treated me. And I was really disappointed to hear that. It really hurt my feelings. Like to hear that Mrs. Austin was struggling, how she was struggling, and not even to get a reach out. I mean, and the only reason I didn't reach out was because I took that initiative when the chats and stuff were all happening and getting together. I took the initiative not to be a part of that. And that was just my way of being like, I'll be a stream participant, but I won't invest myself into the thing because I've got a whole lot of shit that I've got to deal with, like in my day-to-day life, and I just don't feel like I had enough time to be able to deal with that sort of stuff. So I was feeling
what really, 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 really fucking pissed me off to the high heavens. Like I was gonna I felt like I was gonna grab him and just chuck him down a flight of fucking stairs.
It's got to be that thing on your forehead.
But yeah, this is helping me channel. And it's all this fucking shit that Mrs. Austin was going through with the bushfires, and I know what that's like because I was fucking 500 meters from my fucking house in 2019. So I know exactly what you're going through.
It was tough over here, Mrs. Austin. It was
really bad. And
2019 we really struggled with that stuff.
It was the fucking most severe.
Oh, I know. They left you guys and came straight to our community, and me and my husband watched our community burn down in 2020.
Yes.
Yeah.
So our prime minister flew over to Hawaii for a holiday during the height of it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I remember that.
You were going through all this
Hawaii
shit,
lit on fire this year, 2 days before we did.
You were going through all this fucking shit, and then on top of all this shit you're going through, your son got bullied by a fucking bunch of cunts, and all this shit at school, and then, I just got my TV. Yoo-hoo. Give me a.
That was when I started to lose it, because just people were losing their property, and he was like, "Oh, look at this TV," and I think I put the definition of selfish in there in the chat. I'm pretty sure that's what I've done. I didn't write selfish, but put what the definition of the word is, and he was like, "Huh? What?"
When I started,
if the shoe fucking fits, cunt. I was so fucking livid. I nearly went up to fucking Camden and went off my fucking nut. I nearly drove up there.
When I was really when I started to really get annoyed, and this is when I saw a food review. I saw a food review where he did a review of KFC or something like that. And he would continuously whinge that he had no money. And then 2 days later, he pulls out a $3,000 go-kart. And I said, where did you get the money to pay for that? He goes, "Oh, I've been saving." And I was like, well, you've just told everyone you've got no money, but then you pull out this brand new go-kart and you do a video with this thing. And I lost it because...
Yeah, fuck.
Excuse me.
See, and I feel bad because I told him, you don't have children, you're not married, you're a bachelor, you're allowed to spend your money however you want to. I never looked at it like, I didn't look at it like, oh, he's getting a TV, or he's getting his go-kart. Like, I didn't look at it like, let's just say I stopped spending money. I stopped sending money a long time ago. Because it was very much he was saving money.
You understand why I said that?
If we find out that you're still sending money, I'm going to put you on the naughty list, all right?
I don't even go on TikTok anymore because I'm
you understand. Hey, you understand why I said that though, right? You were going through fucking hell. He never liked, put a love heart or a fucking love heart or whatever they fucking call it on any of the comments, He never fucking offered you one bit of support on that stream, not one bit of fucking support. And then out of nowhere, out of the fucking blue, at the bottom of all the messages, oh, I got my new TV.
Yeah.
Even before that, I'd get
a way to keep my kids safe. Yeah, like I said, I have plenty of reasons to be upset about that. Again, I didn't see it from that point of view until I saw how much it bothered you guys. Then I was like, maybe this should bother me. Maybe I do need to apologize to my husband, who is like, he gonna do this for you. And I said, I would never ask him for money. And my husband's telling me, so you're telling me he's asking you for money? And I said, yeah, that's what I'm telling you. He's asking me for money. And that's when Ryan was like, no more, not doing it. And then, so I then started doing it on TikTok instead of sending it to him on StreamYard. I started sending him gifts on TikTok, $20, $25 at a time worth of gifts on my end, which is $50 for you guys.
So
and I would do that 2 or 3 times a week.
Can I ask Mrs. Austin how often? Like, I know you said just stop doing it a long time ago, but because I only jumped on. Geez, I would have only jumped on maybe October or November of last year for the live streams. So how often?
Oh, no. You were jumping on in February and March. Because I've only been on here since the end of November.
Yeah.
I was only on StreamYard since the end of November.
Oh, okay. So when did it all sort of start to take off? When you were like, when you started giving the money, when did that sort of start?
January.
Right. So you were
12 days before he made me a co-host. I wasn't even a co-host.
Right. So how did you first come across the live stream?
The truth?
Yeah, 100%.
Toto told me that they were gay bashing him in a stream and that he needed support and that he was going to go on this live stream and he was worried about how, that these guys gay bash him and threaten to go to his house on TikTok and that they do a YouTube stream and that he wanted me to come on there and support him. And he started saying, Toto started saying not so nice things about people with disabilities and lumping people with disabilities together because he worked in an old folks home. And I told him that was not okay. Him and Bravo were having conversations behind my back before I finally was like, okay, we just had this blow up. Like he flat out told me Toto told me you don't have to be autistic if you don't want to.
Can I ask you something, Mrs. Austin?
Yeah.
Did Robbo send Toto a nude?
To tell you the truth, I have no idea. I don't think I ever asked that question. I believe I made a comment that I believe I made a comment while on live that I am happily fucking married, and if anyone sent me something like that, I would report them instantly. To whatever site that we were on, and he never did it to me. But he did do it to someone else who came on the panel that I felt I was a friend of mine that I had made a friend in, and I reached out and I apologized, and he yelled at me.
I'm upset, man. I want a fucking nude.
For yelling, for even saying something to the person.
Mick,
and I said, I'm a woman. I will say something. I do not want to be lumped in with the idea that I'm okay with that kind of stuff.
That's right.
And I made that was in March. That was what I was talking about in March.
Yeah.
That was something that I sort of, that was another red flag for me as well. There was a lot of stuff
as well, Sammy.
I'm being,
Sam, did he send you a red flag?
Yes, I did. No, there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that wasn't happening in the stream. That was actually, it was happening in life itself, and no, like honestly, I thought to myself, this isn't something that I want to be a part of, and I thought, I can't judge a person by that. But then as time went on, there was a lot of stuff coming, from life into the stream, and I thought, wow, this is getting a little bit crazy. Like, I've heard some stories of him doing some very inappropriate things to people that are supposed to be caregivers and people that are supposed to help people live lives. And it actually got to a point where, and I won't name any names.
I think I know who you're talking about, because he slipped up in a replay when I mentioned the name, or someone else mentioned the name, and he got very angry and was like, we don't talk about that. And now, like I said, now that all the information seems to be coming out and everybody's communicating together, I'm like, oh, holy mother of Jesus. Like, I'm going to be on these streams too. So
I was wondering why that Brooke lady disappeared. Never heard the legit story, but I'm sure I can work it out.
And then so there was a night where we were talking about sex workers and stuff like that, and
pissed me off. I made a comment the next live I was on because of that. I said, I don't see how you have any right to talk about someone using those type of services.
Yeah, so
when that's what you're looking for, right?
So the story behind that is that my ex-girlfriend was actually a sex worker, and I to this day, even though that relationship didn't work out, I 100% wish my ex-partner all the best in what she does. And I understand why she does what she does. She was a single mother that worked her ass off to try and provide for her kids, and I'm to this day I'm super proud of what she done, and how we met. That was I would pay for services when we first met, but then as we got to know each other, it built into this relationship, and I'm not I don't regret that whatsoever. I think it's a beautiful thing, but there was to be told behind the scenes that I should be ashamed of myself and stuff like that. I thought that was a bit how you going. And then there was a viewer on the stream that has made quite a good career for herself. She actually reached out to me privately in a message and said, I can't believe that someone had said that. And that was also a red flag for me. That was like, you can never be too sure with the people that are watching the streams as well. They could be a high profile person, and you may not know that they're watching the stream, but they could have just by any chance seen the stream, and it just so happened that this person did that night, and we had a conversation about it, and I was like, wow, this is, and that's when that was another, like I said, another red flag for me, that I was just like, wow, this could end up hurting a lot more people than I thought possible. So.
Well, Sam is the only one that doesn't know this. is I feel like the nail in the coffin was the people that was bullying him and trolling him did it for a reason, and that was because when he ran off to TikTok, he was in a group chat and he was basically hassling those ladies for nudes, even though they have partners and they don't they don't look at Robbo that way. They don't want it, but he kept on asking. He sent inappropriate stuff to them that they saw, and so one of them said to him that she was underage just to get him to stop asking. But that didn't get him to stop asking, and he carried on and kept on asking and kept on being inappropriate.
A huge red
So
flag.
when
He thought if
a huge red flag because it shows that
he doesn't
you
care if
know
they're
what
underage.
other yeah, and we've all spoke about this, like myself and Mick have spoke about this on open panels like pedophilia and human trafficking and stuff. But then because I knew that was upsetting Robbo, I did reach out to Bonnie. Hopefully she don't mind me saying her name. I'm sure she wouldn't. But I reached out to her and said, "Can you guys just like basically back off?" And then her and I had a bit of an argument because she was saying I support that behaviour and all this stuff, and saying that he's my friend. Where I haven't known him that long, and I've lost friends and stuff and girlfriends or whatever in my life that I've known longer, and had a lot more of a connection to. So I'm at the age and at the point in life where I can quite easily walk away from toxic behaviour if I have to. But yeah, we had a bit of an argument, or just had words, and she definitely made me think about: do I want to be associated with this person? Do I want people to feel like I support that behaviour? So the next day, I messaged her back and apologized for, even getting involved, that it's not my place to try to stop this, like them arguing. And yeah, just it opened my eyes a lot more because I obviously heard one side of the story where it was a little bit more tame and a little bit like more in his favor. And obviously hearing their side, I saw more their point of view, that it was like she was finding the behaviour disgusting, that he wouldn't stop. Like no's no, and if they're not interested, like back off. Leave it alone. And obviously they had to create that lie, which didn't stop him, and that's why. And now, because he knows that she's definitely like not underage, he will use that as an excuse, like, like one time in the group chat, it's like, very well that she was not underage, but it's like he was
See, and that was
very
his only
scared and
response.
worried.
That
He
was
was
my
very
problem.
scared and worried for ages. He was very scared and for ages. Mrs. Austin knows as well. He was very, waiting for that knock at that door to get in trouble and stuff. So he was very upset about it. I don't even know. I'm saying this to Sammy, but I don't even know if he's listening. But yeah, that I felt like I had to apologise and sort it with Bonnie, and she's a lovely person. I enjoy talking to her when we have spoke, and myself and Caitlin as well butted heads a few times because of the situation. But I've had some conversations with her now, and she seems like a lovely person as well. I don't know her as well though, but yeah, I just that was another trigger for me. And when they were saying that I support that behaviour, I definitely don't. And just like Mick was saying earlier on about that movie, and I've said that I research and look into that stuff, and it's very something I'm passionate about because I don't think that should be happening on this planet. It's disgusting. And just for someone who won't stop when they've been told no was very triggering for me. And yeah, I wanted to sort it out with Bonnie so she doesn't feel like I support that behaviour. Apologised to her. Said to her she doesn't have to. Said to her she doesn't have to. She doesn't have to speak to me again. She doesn't have to accept my apology, but she did, and they were in the chat tonight, her and her friend, and just yeah, that was and all this other stuff we've spoke about, all the other people that have been upset and offended, is part reason why I definitely blew my lid off or whatever when I did. And another one is that I believe I've said to Mick and possibly others is Donna has anorexia, and she watches obviously myself and Taz does and stuff. so she has an eating disorder. But when Robbo came up on live and he was eating a sandwich around the same time, she was saying, "Oh, she can't watch food reviews or she can't be around food at the moment." And her way around it was to fast forward my videos or watch the videos but not actually watch it, like watch it and then walk away from it or whatever. And I said she doesn't have to do that, but I appreciate if she wants to still support in that way. And he got grumpy about it when I said, "Oh, would you mind going backstage and eating your food because Donna's having issues at the moment?" Made a huge deal about it. This is my channel, this, and did it. And then when Donna came up on one of my live streams and said she doesn't watch Robbo anymore because of the disrespectful behaviour, he said, "Good. Now I can eat food on my own channel again." And I just thought, not having empathy or looking at someone else and thinking they're having trouble, they're really struggling at the moment, and they don't want to be around that sort of stuff. It's not how you treat people, and that was another huge trigger for me. Just if you and Donna was very much a part of his streams, liking and engaging in the chat. If you can just turn on someone that easy, then obviously he did that to me, and I spent hours, sometimes 2-3 hours after the lives talking to him when he was having issues, like trying to. Because I was, and sometimes it was with other people, but sometimes it was myself and just him. Sometimes we'd almost go longer than the live stream talking and me trying to help him, and just for him to have that, "Oh, what's your bloody problem, G," and stuff on that live stream he had a go at me on, and how Sammy was saying that he came on one of the streams a bit annoyed and was gonna, like he did butt heads with Robbo. If I went up on the live stream that day on that episode when he was annoyed with me, I definitely would have been pretty rude towards him and stuff. That's why I didn't bother to go up there, because I didn't want to disrupt that stream, which I did in the end. But you're muted, Sammy.
You probably could tell I took the piss a lot, yeah, when I was on the live stream. That's my reaction to doing things when I get the shits with somebody. If I don't like what they're doing or the way they are, I take the piss big time, and I give them shit. Like, I give someone real bad shit, and I'll do it to the point.
Why you took the piss out of me all the time?
Yeah, fuck you. Nah. No, not at all. But I do it like, that's why I did it. You probably noticed I did that with him a lot, because I test him. I test him big time,
well, he would say something. Donna is a great human. He would say, like I was saying earlier, like me and Mark would be in the back with him, and he'd talk about something. He'd be like, "So this is what's going on. Everyone else knows, but I want you to know. Like, I'm telling you now that that's what's going on." And he would go, "And I don't want to talk about it when we go on live." And so me and Mark would be talking about something, and Robbo would be silent in his square. And then all of a sudden he would go, "Well, this is what's going on with me." Like, we weren't trying to include him in the conversation and stuff. And again, I wasn't supposed to be on the panels as the co-host after 100 episodes. I was only supposed to be on a few nights a week, but it was always, "Oh, well, now so-and-so's here, they can come up with me. Now so-and-so's here, they can come up with me. Oh, I'll ask so-and-so and they can come up with me." And then I got to the point where, "You don't need to be on live tonight, or you don't need to be on live tomorrow because I'm going on this panel." And then someone in the chat would be like, "Oh, you're welcome to come up, Miss Austin." I'm like, "No, thank you." And Robbo would go, because he would make comments about other females that were on the panel with him that would just ghost him. But then they would be trolling in the chat. And it'd be constantly like, "Miss Austin's up here. You won't be the only woman. Like, you won't be the only woman, And
I find that behavior fairly disgusting, because he's not like, you've done so much, and he seems to be like not including you in that. Like, "I'm going to be on this live, so you don't need to come up." It's not, "Would you like to come and join us?" Because I won't be live on my channel. I'll be live on another person's channel. And I made it quite clear that you was always welcome.
And it got to a point at the end where it was like, "Oh, you don't, I'm going to take the night off. I'm not going on live." And then by the end of the live, that was backstage. And then by the end of the live, he'd be like, "Oh, you guys are going to do a live? Okay, I'll just pop in over there with you since Miss Austin's taking a break." Like, why did you just put that on me? Like, you're the one who said, like, whatever. You know how many times I literally pulled my back out and couldn't stand up for 3 days because I jumped over something because he went live on an early stream and Mark was busy at, work. That I jumped on so that he would have someone to help him do the stuff, and I would make suggestions, and it was almost like he would ignore me, and then when Mark would pop up and make a suggestion, it's the first thing he would do. And I was like, okay, I get it. I'm just a woman. Whatever.
Looks like poor Mark needs his sleep. Do you need to go, Mark, or you good to stay a bit longer? Or
I didn't expect to be on here this long either, Mark.
No, you're right. I did actually fall asleep before. I had a bit of a nanny nap. No,
you look
right.
so peaceful. It's so nice.
Yeah, I just it's all good. No, look, this is great because we're all finding out what's happened, and I'm interested in one. I'm wondering if how many others he's done this to, and if he's going to repeat the same thing again.
Well, he's upset. I know that a lot of people on Grego's live streams that are the mods on there, because when he pops on, a lot of people get a little bit upset with him. So, I mean, like always, we've heard one side of it, but
I've heard it from his mouth. It started on Grego's. So he went from Grego's to Lincoln Canes, and then it started on Lincoln Canes. So that's why he started doing his live 6 nights a week. And by March, we were having issues. By June, we were having more issues. Again, this is September now. So January, we were having issues. Yeah. February, we were having issues. March, we were having issues. I swear April was like no issues at all, but it was because we had Mark then, and we had Mick coming up, and we had a few other people coming up.
Well, to me, the more he watched, because he was actually watching Lincoln Kane while he was doing his own stream. He was paying more attention to Lincoln Kane. And that guy came up on his stream. And I said to Robbo, I said a few times, I said, if he comes up again, I'm not going to be here. I just didn't like the guy. Didn't like the vibe. I was impressed with his setup, but that was it, And I told him, stop watching him. Stop trying to be him, And that's when.
What did I say, G? Mark said it so many times. And it would be like, oh, we need the controversy. And so these last few streams, these last few weeks of streams that he was having all this controversy thrown at him, I was like, hey, you wanted this. So Sammy getting up there and the Hungry Jack thing. Hey, you wanted controversy, but he didn't want his own. He wanted everyone else to have something. He wanted everyone else to have. He wanted to hear about my drama. He wanted to hear about, he wanted G and Sammy up here to hash it out,
to put them up there. That's what he gets. Is that what he gets off on? Is that his entertainment? Right. Okay.
So he wanted me and G to, because I'll be honest, that night that I went on doing the Hungry Jacks thing to build a bit of entertainment, right? So I went on and I did the Hungry Jacks thing, and I was like, I don't know, I'm Hungry Jacks, like, and I still remember it because I rehearsed it before I went on. I remember like going through it in my head and just thinking that I'm gonna go on and make them laugh. And I remember G said to me that night, he goes, "Oh, you dragged it on a little bit," and then all I wanted to do, I wanted to show Robbo that, it's really important that you have a bit of content behind what you do. And then he actually did. I remember getting off the stream that night and thinking to myself, oh, fuck. I sat there and I was fuming. I was like, fuck, G's a fucking wanker. Right? I was like, I don't know who he is.
It didn't help, though, because Robbo was feeding it. Because every time G would say something, whether it was funny or not, he would laugh. While you were mad and while he was being mad at you and telling you to stop talking, every time G would say something, he would laugh. He would laugh like, haha, like he has his minions. And then he would make that comment about Lincoln Kane's live all the time, that he has all these trolls in there that are his minions. And if you piss off Lincoln Kane, he'll send all those minions after you. So when I seen his behavior, and again, G was doing what G was doing. G was sticking up for Rabo. Because I felt like that's what he did. He built us all up to stick up for him. So no matter, because he would tell me something and he'd go, well, you know, so-and-so said this, you know, because at first it was, you need to stop, you need to stop interjecting. You need, if I'm going to say something, you need to just stop talking. And I'd be like, what? And he's like, well, people are saying. And I'm like, people who? You know, and he wouldn't
definitely after speaking to Sammy more and more, I definitely enjoyed the conversation with him, and I feel like we have a fairly similar sense of humor where we can like kind of take the piss or be a bit sarcastic or just make silly jokes, and you know, I think we definitely had common ground there. But then he's been quite serious and shared some very deep and personal stuff, and I guess I've done that as well. And just it got to the point that, you know, I quite enjoyed speaking to him.
Yeah,
Not to blow smoke up your ass too much, Sammy.
No, it's all good, man.
Yeah, don't. Trust me, don't. Fuck.
Yeah.
Keep going here. I'm still here. I'm just on my...
I can't really hear you, but I will state again that he probably is watching, because he would talk about how this is how all the Lincoln Kane people, every time he kicks them off his stream, that they would join up with a bunch of other people and just sit and talk. I'm glad that we could all calmly talk about this. I'm glad that we could all calmly let out what we were being, you know, what we perceived from the situation, because each and every one of us, even people in the chat, are stating, what? Wait, where? When? Huh? I never saw any of this, you know, and I feel like he brought us all together and he put us in a chat and he brought us all together and he had us up on the panel more and more often, that we were seeing these bit of outbursts that were coming from him, and where, you know, like, we understand, you know, he was talking about and he had a great day, you know, what's upsetting you. And then after the fact, when we would stick around to like have the, you know, closing backstage conversation, he would rush off. So we were starting to do the scheduling during the live, and he was using it, like I said, he was using it to bait people. Like, he would bait me. He would tell me that if I didn't bring up enough content, that he was going to bring Toto back, or that he would only want to do guys only chat, you know, guys only panel. Like, he was pushing me out. So I was like, okay, they're not hurting my feelings. Not at all. You know, pushing me out. I wanted to stop doing these a long time ago. And every time I brought it up, he was like, well, when I get my watch hours up. So as soon as he hit his watch hours before the 200 episode, I was like, well, since you hit your watch hours, I don't need to be here anymore. I don't do your editing.
Well, it's kind of interesting that you said that, because when you said about guys only night or whatever, it just occurred to me that, you know, you're a female. It's not only occurred to me that you're a female. I did work that out long ago, but I just look at everyone here as humans. You know, like it's not like, oh, there's one female and the rest of the guys. It's like just everyone.
But he pointed that out quite a bit. Anywhere and everywhere he went. So, he pointed out, I was here so other females could feel safe.
And the fact that you're comfortable being just, you know, with like all guys or whatever, it's just, as I said, like, just, we're all humans, we're all people, and we just all have different opinions or similar opinions, and it's just been an amazing chat. But like, I wouldn't want to not include you just because of some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's just silly. And it's just, you know, great to have everyone here. It doesn't matter what you have between your legs or whatever. Content.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to be on here for 3 straight hours and you walk up here with not much, you know, to talk about. We did laugh, we did cry, and we did talk a lot of cringe, and it just happened to be him as topic. But I feel like anyone watching this, and you feel or you were triggered by any of what we said, you need to do some introspection on who you are as a human being.
Yeah.
Because the way that some people treat other people do not at all have a right to sit on a soapbox and call themselves a victim.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
it's
you
like
know,
learn from us. Like
Please.
I'm sure everyone has someone like this in their life, this narcissistic manipulator who was trying to stop us from probably doing what we're doing right now, but you know, trying to have us all to themselves, but not letting us just be free.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
go
I
on,
mean, that
Sammy.
was what I think that was another reason
Yeah.
why I wanted out before we all locked into this new channel, and the fact that he kept stating it's still my channel, it's still my channel, it's still my channel, and I'm going, never mind then, because I thought it was a community
exactly.
channel.
That's what I thought as well.
I
don't want to put in that much time and effort into something that I don't control.
I remember jumping on. I don't know when I exactly jumped on. I think it would have been like episode. It was before episode 100 because I remember we did.
Oh yeah, it was
episode
90s. It was in the 90s. You were right on the number. It was just the date and time. It was more in March.
Yeah, and I remember jumping on, and I remember like first initially thinking, wow, you know, like what a great community to be a part of, and this is a really good initiative, and I want to help this channel grow, and then you know by episode 200 or 196 or 5 or whatever, I jumped on and I just said straight out one night, I just said, "Where's Mrs. Austin?" And he goes, "Oh, Mrs. Austin's busy tonight," and just palmed it off. And I just thought, well, if Mrs. Austin isn't here, I don't want to be here because it's not. The conversation will be very dry, and I feel like I'll be pulling teeth to try and make something happen tonight because I don't feel like it would go. And then, you know, we'd move on from having these amazing conversations from the 3 hour mark. And this was only at like episode not like 97, 98. We'd go on from having these amazing conversations about things that were happening in the world and, you know, great conversations. And you would notice, and everyone would have seen it, when we started to talk about things that piqued people's interests, we'd get a whole lot of comments and a whole lot of things where people would actually join in on the conversation, and it'd spike the views up a little bit. And then as it sort of got to the end of that, where it wasn't sort of happening anymore, it became just very very dry and very stale very quickly. And I'm really glad that we could actually get on tonight and have a conversation about this, because you know this isn't just something that happens to people every now and then. It happens to everybody in the world, everywhere, every day. Every day it happens. And online, especially with like what we've spoken about, pedophilia and, you know, people exposing themselves to young children, it happens all the time, and it needs to be spoken about, and it needs to be openly spoken about on a panel like this, where, you know, people may stumble across it and go, oh wow, this is something I need to find out about. And it's not, yes, like it's a panel and we all have our own lives in behind the scenes of this, but what we've spoken about tonight is 100% what is going on in the world. It's not
very predatory,
yeah,
you know, thinking, you know, very predatory.
Yeah.
And then 100%.
It doesn't matter about age. Like this whole thing of him saying, oh, it's all right because I know now that they're not underage. It's like, that doesn't fucking mean a thing. You respect women.
Yeah,
that's
when
just
someone says no.
And that's the reason why I had to stand up and say something. I'm like, I hope you understand. I have daughters, and I am a woman, and this is not okay.
Yes. You have respect for women. That's it. End of story. I don't give a fuck if they're I don't give a fuck if they're 15 or they're 97. You have respect for women. That's it. End of
And
story.
and again, I
That's-
think back to you live with your parents, and how many times have you had to leave the channel because we're talking about stuff and you're talking about stuff out loud that is not okay in your own house, and that's why you're having to answer the door, why you lock it, because the conversations that you're having. Yes, I've had what could be considered inappropriate conversations about sex. I get jokes. I understand jokes. Jokes are funny. Even when there probably shouldn't be funny, I was laughing in the background. Like, probably should not have laughed. But I have a morbid, dark sense of humor. So some things that G and Mick, even Mark has said, have made me laugh, and I probably should not have been laughing. Like, that's a serious situation. You should not laugh right now.
That's my sense of humor. It's like say all the stuff that everyone wants to say but won't say. So I normally jump in and quickly say it, and
That's
just
me.
go back into the.
That's
That's
me.
me.
I'm like that. You can't
So
bin
I'm-
me.
Oh,
And you've got a
I'm-
Batman mug.
I'm 31. I lived with my parents forever, right? So I moved out of home from my parents' place about 12 months ago to pursue this radio
Yeah.
gig that I'm doing, and I'm so grateful that I got the opportunity to move out. But I had a partner and stuff, and not once. My mum would say to me, she goes, if you guys want to come here and do what you do as a couple, that's completely your prerogative. And my mum not once said that's out of line or whatever, and she was so supportive of it. And I remember I'd been out of home for 12 months, and I was still seeing my ex-partner at the time, and she rocked up after not being in my parents' house for 12 months. And my mum goes, "Oh, what you've done tonight is extremely disrespectful." And I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "What you've done tonight's extremely disrespectful. You don't live here anymore." And I was like, "Oh." And then she goes, "You probably should have went and got a hotel room." And I was like, right. So then, so she was like, all for it. But when we were together and we were, as a couple living under my parents' roof, she was all for it. But then she literally changed the tune after not having to deal with it for 12 months. And then my dad's like, "Oh, do you understand that you don't live here anymore?" And I was like, "Yeah, I get it. It wasn't my home anymore." And then so that became a thing. But the point I'm getting to when I say this is when, as an adult, if you're a 46-year-old man and you're still living in fear that you've got to lock the doors because you're a little bit frightened that your parents are going to walk in on you or do whatever, there's got to be a little bit of disconnect there as three people. Yes, I lived with my parents for a long time, but we all amicably communicated with each other as three adults living in a house together. And yeah, if you've got to lock doors and be secretive and stuff like that, there's obviously a lot of disconnect somewhere. Yeah.
Guys,
feel
look, I'm going to rock and roll. Thank you very much for letting me come on here and talk tonight. It's been great. And
you're always welcome. You're welcome.
You can't roll.
Thank you. I'm going. Seeing
Just
you
rock.
back, I'm going.
You can rock.
Have
You
a
can't
good
roll.
night. Have a good day at work tomorrow. I'm sure it's going to start early.
Yeah, 6:30. But no, I appreciate the chat and letting me talk about what we've been all talking about. I think it's been wonderful.
Was what I said to finish off, Mark, a little bit too much? Was that why you're leaving?
No.
Everybody's saying bye.
That's something for him to think about tonight.
Mark
Goes to
can deal with
sleep.
it. Mark can deal with it. Mark's a hard cunt. He's fucking harder than all of us.
No. Look, thank you very much. It's great being here, and thank you. Good night, everyone in the chat. Thank you, and we'll catch us next time. Good night, Australia.
Take care, Mark.
Take it easy, bro.
There you go.
Oh, I didn't read. What is his bottom? What does the bottom of his name say? I didn't even see it at first. I'll have to go look in the. I'll have to blow it up on my phone and look back real quick.
I know what people
I hadn't been able to read it the whole time because it was so small.
They're like, oh, for fuck's sake, Sam, you're.
You can't change the laws of physics. That's true.
Oh, I
didn't. I wasn't gonna stay on here this long. I was gonna go after a little bit. And I realized it's almost 6 a.m. here.
That's all right. I was wanting to actually talk to you about all this anyway.
I know you were, and I'm like I said, I've been like, I was not sleeping well with the fires and everything. So when Ryan was home, I was asleep. Like every time Mick would try to talk to me, I'm like, dude, I'm getting in the shower to go to work. I just woke up. Like, I'm not in the mood to talk about anything right now.
I was completely cool with that. I don't give a fuck.
And I'm glad. I was gonna video chat the group, but then I was like, I don't know what's a good time to video chat the group. And then on Saturday, I was looking for the stream, and normally G puts it in there a little bit earlier, but he did. I fell asleep like probably 10 minutes before you posted it to the stream, and I was like, damn it, I wanted to get on Saturdays. So I definitely am looking.
I didn't know if I was going to come on tonight. That's why it was like a bit of the last minute. But yeah, it's been a lovely chat. Luckily, we didn't do this live. Hey.
Well, like I said, now it's as transparent as possible. Now it is. This is not a bash stream. Yeah. This is not at all. This is we are coming together when connecting the dots. And
me and Mick said ages ago that he needs to go get help, and it just turns out he needs to get help with a whole lot more than we first assumed he needed help with. You know, if there's, as Mick said, it doesn't matter the age. If there's still an issue with pursuing and not taking no as no, there's definitely issues there where you need.
Well, you can only take someone at face value for so long before, like I said, the dots started connecting, and then it started. And I get the self-destructive, and I get the I get all of that. I get that that's part of your brain when you have mental health disorders. You know, Ryan has ADHD, and he very much reminded me of Ryan quite a few, and I've made that comment multiple times on the lives that, you know, he did remind me of Ryan, and he's very much defensive at first, and I thought that we were at a level of friendship that I would not expect the reaction that I was getting from him at certain times, and realized that when I stopped being the punching bag, when I stopped being when I stopped trying to make suggestions, like Mark said, that were going in one ear, not the other, I was done. You know, when I stopped making I don't think that's a good idea. You should probably not do that. Stop saying stuff like that. It wasn't long before I stopped coming up on lives. And there was only, I admitted this, I believe, to Mick and to G. There were only like 2 or 3 lives that I was like, I fell asleep. And really, I didn't. Really, I was ready and prepared and there and ready to be on. What happened to Sam? I think he went to turn the thing and shut himself off.
Probably fall out of his wheelchair or something.
I think there were only 2 or 3 lives that I actually was like, I fell asleep. That I did intentionally fall asleep, because I was like, I can't do this tonight. Like, I can't.
Yeah,
I don't
get pretty draining and stuff, you know.
It got to the point where, like I said, the 200th episode was one of the ones that I said, I'm sorry, I fell asleep. No, I did on purpose.
All right, I'm going to say something. Remember when I come up on your stream for the first time ever?
Yeah.
I've never on G's. stream?
Yeah.
No.
It was last week or the week before, wasn't it?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, now, but yeah.
I've never
know that
been
was the
on his
first
stream
one.
before, and I'd never been on his stream before. Yeah, and I come on and we talked about a little bit, just a bit. Me, you, and I can't remember the other guy's name. I can't remember. Had a beard. Can't remember his name.
As was it?
I think so. Anyway, I hung up, and because I was going to go to bed, he called me on the live on Facebook video chat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Messy everywhere, like homeless. And then he's like, and he's like this. This is he was like this. He was like this. And I'm like, he's like fully going psycho. And I'm like, what's wrong, mate? Because no one fucking scares me. I live in East Nowra, for fuck's sake. Okay. So I'm just sitting there going, I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, you were talking about me. And I'm like, so? And he's like, you should have come to me first instead of going. I said, I don't give a fuck, mate. You need to fucking relax and look at your blood pressure. It's like through the roof right now. I don't give a fuck. I'm not even stressed. Fucking leave me alone. It's like,
this was after I posted the comment. Oh, because
Yeah,
he told me that you went at him a few days before that, and that he wasn't getting along with G. And oh, by the way, I got a TV. That was all the conversation. When I
did. I fucking lost my shit.
He said, "Oh yeah, I've dealt with the smoke before. I've had to deal with the smoke before." And then,
Sorry, Sammy.
he said, I remember the smoke from the 2019-2020 fires," and then talked about you and G, and then was like, "Oh yeah, I got my TV," and then posted that he got his TV in the chat. Like that's why he said me and Miss Austin already talked about it. Was because he told me 2 seconds before everybody else did.
He lives up in fucking Camden. He does no fucking idea. I live literally. There was a massive fire 4 streets away from my fucking house. On New Year's Eve in 2019, my house nearly burnt down from fucking embers. All right. I left my house on New Year's Eve. I had a gig. with my trio on New Year's Eve in Sydney. The boys didn't come. Shit. They cancelled because they thought they were going to lose their house. So they're protecting their house. I went and done a solo gig on New Year's Eve because I thought, fuck it. My house is insured. I'm leaving. I went and stayed at mum and dad's because I wasn't affected up there. So I went and stayed up there. I said, I don't care. If I lose the house, I don't care. I don't care.
I remember that night.
I went on the gig solo, and that was it. Yeah. But so I don't know what he's on about because it was much better up there than what it was down here. But I'm like sitting there going, what the fuck? But like the night before he spoke to you, I rang him and lost my fucking shit.
Yeah,
like
that was.
Said, and I'm not trying
to
be
because we had talked on chat and I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I should have waited until I put the chat, and then every one of you guys could have done what you did anyway after I wrote the chat and was like, I am so sorry. I did not realize that all of that.
Doesn't matter. It had to come out. It had to come out sooner or later. And the thing is, I might sound like I'm trying to be a hard cunt here, but I'm not. Nobody fucks with me.
You are a bit of a hard cunt, though.
Yeah, no one fucks with Mick on Wheels.
Even Taz and Rolfus reached out.
No one fucks with Mick on Wheels. So you don't know that. Huh?
What did you say? Sorry. Reach out what?
I said even Taz and Rolfus reached out to me and was like, I hope how are you? You know, how is everything going? Like the whole time, like I felt really bad. Like I'm like these guys know that there's fires in my town. They know that they're close. Like if I don't update them every day, I'm a horrible person because I'm leaving them ghosted, thinking that my house burnt down. That's the reason why I can't respond. Like I'm not gonna do that to you guys, you know. And it, like I said, I feel like, oh my God, now that I don't feel like there's a controller of the chat, I don't feel like I have to.
I'm the controller now.
That's why I'm laughing.
Easy, Tiger.
Who was it that messaged me? It was like, oh, I think it was Mark. Mark was like, thanks for adding me to your chat. And I laughed. I was like, actually, it's not my chat. It was just G made a comment about him being the one who rants all the time, and he was like, "Oh, I should name it Just Rant already." So that's why it's named. It's like I just started laughing. I was like, it was literally a chat that all of you guys just wanted to make sure that I was okay, and I appreciate it, and I'm feel forever I have so much gratitude to you guys and I'm so grateful for you guys reaching out and making sure that I'm okay. And I don't I wasn't. This is not I'm not trying to manipulate anybody, but I'm glad to be able to come up here and finally share it, because I was a part of that, and I feel like I have so many apologies to say to people that matter to me. And I've tried and reached out as much as I can. I mean, on those lives you can watch where I'm like bitching at him, where that was rude. Why did you do that? Like, what's going on? And it's, we'll talk about it later. And then he doesn't tell me what's going on, or at least he tells me his version of what's going on.
I also want to say, Mrs. Austin, even though I wasn't involved in those chats, I was very aware of what was going on, and as much as I didn't reach out and say, ask how you were feeling and stuff, there was a lot of conversations that I had with Mick in a lot of those weeks where I'd say to Mick, just let Mrs. Austin know that I'm thinking of her, because I couldn't reach out to you like Mick was reaching out or Mr. G was reaching out. So
add me on Facebook.
Do you have me on Facebook?
I'm pretty sure I do.
No, I don't know if you do.
I'm pretty sure I follow you on Facebook.
Follow me?
Since like the first time that you came on the chat.
You can add him to the group, Mick. You have him on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
You can add Sammy to the
Add him there, then I can add him.
He follows you he follows, I was going to say, in your footsteps all the time, but I don't know if I should say that. We'll probably get
someone else
in your wheel marks.
Someone else followed me in my fucking wheel marks. Someone else followed me in my wheel marks to every single one of my fucking gigs, and if I see him at another gig, I'm going to deck him. All right, I'm just going to go. I'm just gonna
really, because he was supposed to be at the one on the 9th. What are you talking about?
He's got a what?
He was supposed to be at the one at the 9th. You don't remember?
When's the what 9th? What's today?
The 11th. It was 2 nights ago.
Oh, thank fuck he wasn't there. Okay. 1 second. I'm just going to go get my phone.
You know what? I might be following your page and not your.
Are you following my comedy page?
I think I might be. I think that's the one.
Comedian page, my Sam Maloney page.
I do believe I am, and I can't add you. I can't add you from Mix because he doesn't share his friends.
I'm selfish. I don't share my friends. Hold on, G just added me.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I do.
I'm in the shit now. Oh, G, you can look at all my controversial posts on COVID now.
Send me the Facebook.
You're looking at all my fucking
beautiful.
Mr. Austin,
and I probably shouldn't say this. I probably shouldn't say this
with my comedy page, the Sam Maloney, the one that you're following. Send me the link through that messenger, and I'll add you as a friend on my private.
Oh, I'm adding you right now.
Oh, okay. No worries.
Adam,
I think I tried to follow you, but you didn't follow me back, so I unfollowed you.
Oh.
Well, because I have to go through and because it's a business Facebook page. It's a personal page, but it's turned into a business page because now they don't do pages, they do accounts, business accounts. So I switched it to a business account. And you probably can't find mine because I'm private. I hid me. So I just sent you an ad though.
I'm pretty hidden as well, but I have at the moment on my Facebook account I have, through work and different things, I've got 14 Facebook accounts on my profile, so I just lose track. Of
So do we have to add all 14?
please don't. Please don't.
Just in case we can't catch you on one.
I just have to say something. Last Wednesday, the Wednesday before Father's Day, my best friend from school, who was my very best friend, went missing. They haven't been able to find him for so long and I thought to myself, fuck, he's dead. He's fucking dead. Like, so many people committing suicide now. So many people dying, heart attacks, from a million jabs. And all these things happening. And I thought he's definitely dead. And I just found out that he's returned home.
Wow.
No. And he missed Father's Day and everything. He's got a 6-year-old daughter. I don't know what the go is. I don't know if he's struggling with something, but he's just reached out and returned home. And I can't fucking believe it. And I'm like over the moon right now.
Was that the one that wasn't the one who passed away that you shared the post about? You recently shared a post about a friend who had passed. So
no,
I didn't. I know that you had shared another one. I know that the one I believe I know which friend you're talking about that you had shared. It was like
he's Tongan. He's Maori.
Yeah,
half Maori, half Tongan. This guy. Anyway, he's returned home, and I'm fucking so happy right now. So yeah, it's really good because usually stories like that, especially gone for as long as he had, it's not a good ending usually. So I was definitely waiting for that bad news, but it's not bad news. So I'm really, really happy. I just hope he can
that is awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
As long as he can get the help that he needs, because he's obviously struggling with something, and I hope he can get that help because he's a legend. He was my best friend at school. He did everything for me. Remember when I used to get bullied at school? I was always getting bullied, and we used to go around the school and beat the fuck out of people. We didn't care. and I was on school camp, and I'd become a singer in high school, and I sang at the get together around the fire at school camp, and we called them the Aussie Surfies, wankers, and they were bagging me out and teasing me after I did that, and like bagging me out and stuff. And we slept in these big, massive TP tents, right? There was 2 or 3 to a tent, and me and Leon and Sam slept in this one tent. And in the middle of the fucking night, the 3 of us woke up, and Leon and Sam went and knocked all their fucking tents over on top of them while I was asleep. It was the fucking best. It was the best day. Oh, I loved it. It was so good. And I haven't really seen him all these years. We just connected on Facebook a while ago, but I haven't seen him face to face. So yeah, I'm really happy that he shares the same birthday as me. His birthday's the same day as me, but he's a year younger than me. He's a legend. But yeah,
do they have Pepsi Max in America? Do they have Pepsi Max in America, Mrs. Austin?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Do they call it Pepsi Max in America? Pepsi no sugar?
I can't drink that stuff because it has barley in it. That's what makes it brown. But if I drink one past 2:00, I won't sleep. Like I could drink a pot of coffee and go to bed. But if I drink one Pepsi after 2 p.m., I'm wide awake for like 12 hours.
Your Pepsi was originally from America. That's how Michael Jackson lost his hair. Michael Jackson lost his hair from Pepsi.
Anything packed with too much sugar. I'll be right back, though. I have to go start waking up my kids for school.
Right. Michael Jackson lost his hair from Pepsi, didn't he? Remember the Pepsi ad
from it as well.
Remember his Pepsi ad? His hair went on fire. I watched some footage on something today, and I don't know. For many years, I never believed he was a pedophile, but I think he was.
Well, loads of people get triggered by it, but he actually said that he slept with kids. Now, he didn't say obviously if he touched them and stuff, but to me that's super inappropriate. Even if that was kind of as far as it went, almost like. Why the fuck would you? Why would you be sleeping with other people's children and shit? That's just.
It's so
and you're a grown
weird.
man and just.
Fucking
wearing your
idiot.
pajamas and shit, looking like some sort of ghoulish like creature. They're like a skinwalker or something. Oh man.
Fucking dickhead. After that, I don't know, it's strange. But anyway, fucking hell. I just keep looking at my computer over here because this is my Mick on Wheels computer set up and studio here. I've got everything set up, microphone. And then next door to this, on the table next to it, is my office where I work every day, my day job. And I just kept looking at my computer and it just turned off and did some sort of fucking weird reset. I'm like, I hope it's all right by tomorrow because otherwise I'll be taking the day off.
Yeah, it's probably Michael Jackson coming from the grave to get you.
Oh, fuck him. What is he going to do? Dangle me over a fucking balcony?
He's probably looking at child porn on your other computer.
Fuck with. Oh, I'm going to fucking belt the cunt. Oh, fucking hell. I'm so fucking tired, but tonight was good. Like I thought we were going to talk about this, but it's okay. So that's my friend who went missing, but he's found himself.
Oh, nice. Well, yeah, glad he's found.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's probably not okay, but hopefully he can, get the help he needs or
Get
sort
some
out whatever's
assistance.
affected him.
Yeah, I hope so. 100%.
Maybe he just needed some time to himself. Shit gets hectic sometimes, and
Yep, that's right. And I mean, his wife, he was married, and his wife died of cancer last year or the year before or something. I can't remember when, but she passed away from cancer. And then he had this daughter who he's bringing up, and he's got this other partner now. Anyway, so he might have been going through, I don't know, who knows what the fuck he's going through. And like I said, I haven't really spoke to him for a very long time, like properly. So I hope we can reconnect. He's all right. But yeah, fucking oats, man. Like, it's all happening. I don't want to work tomorrow. I've got a shitload of sick leave. I should just have a day off.
yeah, you are sounding a little bit sick.
I've got yeah, that's right. I've got hay fever. Like, you know what hay fever is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the pollen down here is really fucked up, and every time it's spring, I just get my whole nose and my head, the front.
Oh, I know that feeling.
I got the hay fever really bad because it's September and it's spring. It's just the start of spring now, and what's spring called in America? It's not called spring, is it?
Yeah.
Is it called? Oh, don't you call it fall or something?
Well, because it is
fall. No, that's autumn.
Autumn, fall. It is fall right now. We hit fall September 1st.
Yeah, I fell over once, but sorry.
We don't use the other name because it's Michael's first ex-girlfriend, like broke his heart.
What's the other name?
Autumn.
Said you wouldn't use it.
Yeah, we don't use it in the house, so we say it's fall. When people go, "Oh, it's autumn," and everyone in my whole house goes, because we don't like it.
Look at them. What are you doing?
But no, I have to sing this really annoying wake-up song to my kids that I've sang to them since they were kids. And I seriously walk in the room and start singing it. And every one of my kids are like, they instantly wake up. But if Ryan goes in there and he's like, hurry up, we're running late. We're running late. My kids are like dead asleep, like sitting, trying to get up. Like they don't do anything. But if I sing this annoying ass song to them off key, and go all the way to the highest range that I can. Oh yeah, they're like, fine, I'm getting up. I'm fine, I'm getting up. Because I'll keep going back in there. Like they literally have 8 minutes until I go back in there and do it again. And so every one of them are like, fine. And mind you, we used to live in a 23-foot trailer, all 5 of us. My oldest in the house now would sleep on the top, and then me and my 3 youngest would sleep on a California King on the floor. So when my alarm would go off, it was a Rihanna song. And it would like just wake you up like you're like somebody just threw you into a middle of like a huge pop screaming like dance song. So my kids are like hate that song so much every time it comes on. Every time they hear na 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 na, they're like like chuck the phone or like scream and make you change the song.
Having had a lovely dream, and all of a sudden the sun starts creeping in.
Yes, like screeching as loud as you possibly can hear. So that's why I do the wake up song that I do with them. And all it is good morning, but over and over in higher pitch as I go. And then the ending says, "'Cause it's morning time," all really high pitch. And they're like, Mom! And I'm like, what? And then one day my kid rolled over and was like, "At least it's better than the alarm." I said, "Oh, do you need me to go get my phone?" And they're like, "No!" And so, But I told Ryan before I turned on the mic, "Do you want me to sing you the good morning song?" Because he was already moving around.
I'll learn this. I still haven't learned. I haven't learned it, sort of, the national anthem.
I sang it the other day on the 3rd.
Yeah.
Hardly anyone could hear me because I was singing in front of a whole lot of people. Was super nervous singing the Star Spangled Banner. But when I sang At Last before that, the guy they hired to be the DJ for the weekend heard me playing music on my box, and I had run across the street and I was saying hi to my kid, and a friend of mine went to walk up to me and I was like, "Hold on, I'm gonna practice real quick," because the song came on. And so I'm hiding behind this truck where a good 250 people cannot see me. I was hiding behind, like, there's no one in this space, but there's a truck right here, so I'm standing on this side of the truck so that no one around can see me, but who's right in front of me and, who's right here. And I started singing At Last at the top of my lungs. And I walked out as soon as I got done singing, and everyone started clapping because, mind you, everyone in this town has heard me sing At Last probably umpteen times. So they all start clapping because they all know it was me singing, and I step out and I bow, thank you. The DJ guy screams at the top of his lungs, "Holy shit, I thought that was the radio, holy," and just started like screaming and clapping like in the middle of the road. Like they paid this guy to sit on stage and sing to everybody. And everyone who came, because I was sitting in a little booth area when they were playing bingo, sitting in a little booth area, like singing to myself, like the people around me could hear me singing, but the people around me don't talk to me and I'll keep singing. And the band, one of the artists that were playing with the DJ guy during his open like acoustic run set, he would do like 45 minutes, take a break. She would do 45 minutes, he'd take a break, and they'd switch off. Her whole family were unpacking and setting up to camp for the night, and they heard me singing off in my corner and like came out of nowhere and were like huddled around me, brought guitars, were singing, like harmonizing with all of us together. And I was like, oh my gosh, it reminds me of when I was a kid. And they're like, "No, you have to sing one more song before our niece goes up there and starts singing." And my daughter, and this girl's like my daughter. And I was like, okay. So I sang a song from the musical Waitress. And even the girl who was up there singing, she was on a break from her set. And they were doing bingo, so she wasn't singing yet. Before she went up there to go sing, she was like, "She is not going to try to sing this. She is not going to sing this song right now. Oh my God, there's no way I could sing that song." And I start singing, and halfway through, I start bawling, crying. Because all weekend, I was harassed by my ex-husband. All fucking weekend. You guys saw, I got my tire slashed.
Yeah.
Hey. It took us 3 hours, but I was home with my car. And I have 4 spare tires. And I mean, you could have popped all 4 of them, and I still would have been able to go home the same night. And my thing is, if you're watching, whoever stabbed my tire, to commit the perfect crime, you should definitely stab more than one tire on someone else's car, because it looks very obvious when it's mine. So. And the list of people who hate me and are stupid enough to fuck with my shit is a very small list. Very small. So everyone who knows me knows you're definitely not on the list. Yes, like I said, there's always a list. I learned from this. I learned from the mastermind psychopaths back in the day. No, it's just a short list of people I know that would fuck with my shit, and he's, him and anyone who associates with him is on that list. So it's not that far-fetched. Because everybody else who doesn't like me for my opinion, not because, I don't know.
I can't not like someone. I can't not like someone because they have an opinion. Because I've got opinions that people just fucking can't deal with.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't not. That's my thing. If I've experienced it before, there's no way in hell you're going to catch me putting someone else through that unless I'm being petty. And I will make it very clear the next time I see you and you do something like this again, I'm going to be petty. And you won't like me if you don't like me now, you're going to fucking hate me when I'm petty. Because I'm like old school 1800s. Like if I could put you in a stalker, if I could put your ass in one of those stock things and throw rotten vegetables at your head, I would. If I could publicly shame you, I will. That's how that's me petty.
Can we?
That's why I'm telling you, I don't want to manipulate anybody for not liking someone for their actions because they can grow from that. That is it's not a personality defect. It's literally you've been allowed to do this so much that you're just going to continue to do this. And I'm not gonna condone it. And I'm gonna make it public because I'm not the only one. I mean, I made it clear to Mick and to G, I feel like I was a part of him duping every fucking one of you. Because I was around, but I had comments with G. I've had comments with everybody but Mick about Sammy.
Oh yeah,
Sammy, but
I just had to eventually pull away because I was getting into the sending of the nude territory. I was worried
like I said, you have to watch him because sometimes if he doesn't agree with you, he won't apologize. So like if you get in a tiff with him and you come back up on the panel, understand that he's not acting like it didn't happen. He's just not going to give you an apology.
He never apologized.
I've never seen him apologize to anyone.
He never apologized to anybody for anything.
Ever. Hold on. Did
he can't apologize to me. I won't let him.
What? What's wrong, Sam?
G said nudes.
He paid attention when he heard the word nudes.
Oh, fucking go backstage, you dickhead.
I said it was getting to the point that I had to pull away because I started worrying that I'd probably get sent a nude.
Oh, holy shit. Get that Adidas kid off, mate. Fuck.
All right, I got to go sing the song again. Hold on, I'll be right back. I only do it one more time after this. If they wake up late after this, it's their fault.
It's right. I need to get a drink because I need a drink. Not alcohol, just a normal drink.
Well, I'm actually going to call it a night because I've got to get up.
It is a night.
I've got to get up for work tomorrow, so I was actually going to call it.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Gee, thanks for having me tonight, brother. I've really enjoyed tonight, and it's been a great chat, and appreciate everybody in the chat. I've seen some great comments there. Paul Styles.
Yeah, everyone was sending you and your brother well wishes and support. And
yeah. Oh, look, everything's going to be fine, but I've held that in for a couple of days, and I just,
it's a safe space for you to come and do that. It's a safe space for you to be yourself.
Yeah. Paul Styles said that I don't look like this was one for you, G. It said I don't look like I'm masturbating tonight, which was quite nice.
You know how you said you're going to call it a night? You know how you said you're going to call it a night?
Yeah.
It is night, bro. Yeah, trust me.
No, it's morning. It's morning when Mrs. Austin is.
I'm going to call it a night. Okay. I'll call it a morning.
It's already called that.
That's a Carl Barron joke.
Yeah. Mrs. Austin wouldn't know Carl Barron.
No. Gee, do you know him? How long have you been here?
Yeah, I know him.
He's funny. He's
like a tan, sort of baldish fella.
Yeah, lanky sort of guy. Yeah, I like it. He goes, I think I'll call it a night. And then he stops and he pauses. He's like, call it a night. It's funny. My fucking hay fever.
Then, Sammy, Get to
I'm
get
out
to
of here.
bed.
I'm out of here. You can see me yawning.
Go to bed, you little sook.
I will.
That's just the effect I have on people. They normally start falling asleep and yawning.
No.
I feel rejuvenated after today. I think it's been, like I said, it's been pretty heavy on my shoulders. When I put that in the chat, you know, I was like, I really do miss the lives. Like, miss you guys. Just coming up, just being able to, just
Just rant
connect.
already.
Well, yes,
Yeah,
of
just
course.
rant already, Ed.
That too. But definitely just like I said, just feeling to connect again, because for the longest time it really was like you guys were bringing me back. You know, the promises of this or that was bringing me back, and again that was like sick, weird, you know, love bombing that kind of stopped. You know,
I am Hungry Jacks. You know.
Fucking hell. Fuck off. All you're fucking going and calling it a night.
Yeah, you don't want to trigger me. Stop talking about that.
Yes. Get the fuck off.
You're gonna trigger my munchies. That's all you're gonna trigger for me, Sammy. I'm sorry.
After 20 minutes,
I did have hamburgers for dinner. So.
Sam, fuck off while you're still ahead.
After 20 minutes, and it's just been a waste.
I've always thought of a walking dildo when somebody made that joke. I don't know why.
Can I use this again? I've already done it once today.
After 20 minutes,
it's
just been a waste.
Oh, no.
That glue. That glue.
Hold on. I'm going to go off the live stream. I'm going to go off camera until we talk about something that I'm interested in.
Oh, that pissed him off so much. It really did.
Oh.
I was like, you know how many times I forgot to pee during lives? Like, I was like, not doing self-care at all whatsoever. It very much felt like a job.
Wow.
Go on then, Sammy.
All right, guys. I'll leave you to it.
Fuck off.
All right. Bye.
Keep in good spirits.
Take care, man.
Bye.
We're here if you want to join. You're always welcome.
How often do you guys come on? Like, how often?
You'll know because you'll get a notification now on your Facebook Messenger because I added you to the chat where the StreamYard link will be.
Oh, yeah. Sweet. Okay.
Yeah. So you'll know whenever anyone, Rolfus or Taz or G or I or Mick, if Mick goes live on his YouTube, you'll know when anybody goes because that's where we post the link.
Yeah, sweet. I can't guarantee that I'll be there every night, but I'll
Oh no,
that's fine.
You're not on every night, are you, G? You guys spread the love, right?
Not normally like Monday, Friday, and Saturday, and Rolfus does a couple of days. But yeah, most of the time I'm up here by myself, struggling.
Oh yeah,
I normally leave after an hour.
I love watching your replays.
Like this, the G's like this.
Yeah, I just go like this and just look side to side, and then everyone leaves. And
can someone get up on the live stream, please?
Take care, Sammy.
Bye.
Sorry, I'm just a cunt. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I'm happy to come on Saturdays. That's definitely a day I could lock in because that's Friday night for me. It's,
what time?
We'll be doing football, so we'll probably be getting home around then. So I'll be more than energized from drinking coffee because Ryan's going to be driving the whole time. I'm not allowed to drive if we drive out with him because he's taking a big old van, so that we can be more comfortable.
I've got gigs Saturday nights,
and we don't have to sit on top of my kids. But I will try to be on Mondays too. But Mondays is a rough one. depending on, the weekend and how it went. My last weekend was, like I said, it took a whole week to just from all that. Like, I had to write witness statements I have court on Wednesday, so I had to write witness statements, and it wasn't good. I mean, the sad reality is that cops were watching it the whole time, and then yes, it is a public event. Yes, it is community event, and it is very much drinking is acceptable, and under the premise that you're an adult and you can handle your liquor, and there's 4 cops deep in our town, which, mind you, we only have 1 cop 12 hours a day, every day of the week, sometimes not Saturday or Sunday. So it's like there's either a state cop patrol type CHP, or there's our sheriff, which is not a full-time police officer. It is 1 cop 12 hours a day, and then he goes home. And he's out in a whole nother town, hour and a half away. So for 4 of them to be in town, they were busy, what a lot of people would say, bugging the teenagers. It was public. There was drinking. So of course they're going to be bugging the teenagers. They're not supposed to be drinking. They're not going to be harassing the adults who are supposed to be adulting. But no, I had someone half my size very brave and in my face, and more than once, and then had a million people tell me all weekend long how proud they were of me and how much I've grown as a human being for not, beating the living crap out of her. So I was like, it's not worth it. I ain't going to jail. I ain't losing my kids. The whole point of this bullshit is that my kids are a priority, and I mean that when I say that they are a priority. I will make sure my kids have everything they need, not want, because my kids want shit all the time. They're kids, But I giggle because people are like, I go, my kids don't do chores. They pick up their stuff or I throw it away. That's number one tops. That's the number one rule in the house. You don't want me to throw away, put it away. But my kids do stuff that I don't want to do for chore money. I tell them all the time. They're like, why do I have to do this for money? And I said, because one day you're going to have a job that you're like, for the love of God, I don't want to do this. I go, but you want money. So you need to get used to it now that you're eventually going to have to do a job that, benefits you in the long run. That's not, you got to start at the bottom, anywhere and everywhere you go. You can have all the education in the world. If you have no experience in the United States, they don't care how much education you have. So, start out now and doing jobs that not everybody wants to do, that don't bother you to do them. That's why I'm a personal assistant. That's why I'm if I'm going to be a people pleaser, I might as well get fucking paid for it, right? So I put all my effort into that kind of stuff. I learned a bunch of hobbies so other people could pay me to do them. Ryan spent a lot of years doing landscaping and under the wing of people who started their landscaping business from dirt nothing, and have only been doing landscaping for 25 years. That's their job. And then another guy who does construction, and he learned under him 45 years of experience from that guy, because he's been doing it since he was a teenager with his dad. So he's got a lot of experience, but again, no education in any of it. So he's talking about this October, if he takes a break, he's gonna go to school, do some online training. And I told him, why don't you go into project management, which is what I just, went through. Go to college, learn about business, get a degree in business, and while you're doing that, take these courses, and so that you have enough of even a certificate in business, will get him somewhere with his entrepreneurship, and he can be a co-founder, be co-owner of my business, because looks like he's going to be given a pretty hefty buy-in from a friend who's coming into some money and doesn't want to just blow it at a casino. So he's going to give him enough money for Ryan to buy into I was talking about land clearing, landscaping type job, business. And we're just going to fold it underneath mine. And so he likes his Instagram name, but it's got a lot of disdain from a lot of people that he used to be involved with before we met, and now he's no longer involved with them, and he's shadow banned, if you get what I mean, on Instagram. So he's like, I'm wanting to change my name and everything like that anyway. And I was like, you know what, why don't we just go into business together? I'll make you a co-owner. You have to officially buy in, because I can't just be like, oh, you're an owner now. You have to actually put money into it. So he's going to get the backer for his part of the business, and we're going to be 50-50 business partners. So I'm like, might as well, we're married. Everything that I get go. Well, then I get to stop being his personal assistant, and I get to be what I am, which is not a secretary. So not anymore. So that's an update. I'm on my last course for my project management certificate, and so I've been taking my damn time this last month, but that'll be a $70 or $60 expense I no longer have to pay for. So it's fun. It's going to be fun, being in business and him being able to, both of us will have part-time jobs while we're still working and still getting the business up and running. But once we get up there in our business, he may quit his part-time job. I'm not going to quit my part-time job. I enjoy why I'm doing it, not necessarily how much I'm having to do, but I'm definitely enjoying why I do it. So definitely a way for me to feel like I'm giving back, almost like that billionaire that still goes and mows the lawn, for his check, keep me grounded. When I can put headphones in and just listen to my iPad while I'm cleaning, and like I said, listening to you guys chat and listening to your guys' replays, I feel like I'm here. I feel like I'm a part of it. I will have to watch that one from last week. I must not have. I think Tastas and Rolfus's lives got mixed in with the mix of the list, and I've added like 3 other channels, and there's like, I hate that when you add a channel and it like instantly just shoves all of their old content into your like queue, because I'll click on the top and I'll just go down the line, almost like stories on Instagram and stuff, how you can click on the stories and it'll go down. Instead of just playing all of your videos, when I click you, it shuffles everybody. I don't know how to yet shut that off on YouTube. So I'll have to go on your channel and see. Do you have a lives playlist already, or is it just a list of your lives?
It's just the live, like in the community tab or whatever it is, or the channel. I probably could just make a playlist, so I'd have playlists.
Yeah, but that's extra work. That I would do playlists once you get up to 500 videos, and you have you bounce around your content. So you name it something different, but it this one falls under mental health. This one falls under food reviews. This one falls under hobbies. You could always put it like that. So if somebody's looking for something specific, or you can always be like, you can find my live replays and my live playlist. Whatever you want to call it, type thing.
I have been streaming the last few. What's that?
I was going to say, careful, you might get a copyright.
God, he was obsessed with that shit too.
Oh, fuck.
Do you know how many times I've been invited to go sing on other people's karaoke? Who, mind you, I've just popped into their chat like a few times, just chat, just to listen to them singing because I'm cleaning. I want to listen to something live. Well, they call it body doubling. And so I tend to do that, try not to always go for the replays, try to look and make sure, and if they're live, then click on it and watch it, give them a few minutes of watching it live, depending on what the content is, and if it's not what I, okay, I'm going to want to watch this. So I'm going to I'm gonna watch that replay because I need to go listen to something else that's gonna. It's just something like white noise in the background. Plus, the building I work in is super haunted. So I'm like constantly hearing noises, and then half the time it's my husband because now I make him come to work with me. I'm like, since I got my tire slashed, I'm like,
if that was me, I'd probably be hiding just to jump out and scare you.
Yeah, it's spooky season. He's gonna start getting into that soon. He was talking about getting a different scary mask and just putting it on while he drives the lawnmower by the elementary school, and I was like, "Oh, I would." My kids would. My kids are gonna be like, "My dad's a dumbass." Like that's what they're gonna be saying from the playground. My dad's weird, but all the other kids are gonna be like, "I saw Michael Myers in the park, and it scared me." Like, great. Like, how many grown men are like, if you scare my kid, I'm gonna punch you? And I was like, try it. He's military trained. Like, he's gonna whoop your ass after you hit him. Like, what part of that do you understand?
Yeah.
And it's Halloween. Shut up. You're supposed to. Why are you out here in dark? Like, we
have
do
a bit of
like
fun. Have some candy and shut the fuck up.
Well, I have a music box and he hides in the bushes and like makes creepy like giggling noises and like ha noises, but does it to full grown adults. He does not do it to children. Yeah. He's not allowed to. I told him, you do it to one kid and I'm taking away the mic. So he's not allowed to do it to the little kids. And he like, oh, that's funny. So he has like this very creepy Jeepers Creepers scarecrow mask. So we were trying to, he was going to go hand out candy and I was like, fine, I'll be a girl. I'm going to dress up as a girl, nice, like the little kid version of a scarecrow. So I can, because the little kids would not take the candy from him. They scared him. So I would take the bowl and I'd put it in front of them and they'd smile at me and take the candy. And I'm like, good, now they like me and they don't like you. And they love him. They like, all these little kids in town know exactly who my husband is because he helped with summer camp the first year that they did it. So all of those kids, like every time they see my husband, they're like, Ryan, hi, Ryan. Like, what, dressed up for Halloween? No. Oh gosh. Yeah, T don't like that shit.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
He's barking at me.
I know, he don't like it. Oh, he heard your voice now. He's gonna be like, oh, whatever, it's my dad.
This is I bought this up in Queensland.
Oh, put it back on.
Oh,
it's scary.
Babe, it's 6:35. You're 5 minutes late waking up the kids.
I love this thing. It cost me $50.
You're gonna be late to work.
I love this thing.
Mister, I have to be there in an hour.
Fucking choice. Hey, I gotta go to bed because I need to get up for work.
I know.
It's
yeah, no worries, man.
But fucking,
that's all good.
It was great seeing you. I'm glad you jumped on. Yeah. I'm glad I stayed.
Well, it was a brilliant chat.
It was
great,
informative, if nothing less, and nothing more.
What's that?
Don't make me get the wooden spoon out.
I'm Italian. I know that.
How tiny it is.
I know, right? You watch. I'm going to get a phone call from someone after this finishes.
Yeah, you will. Better put your phone on mute or whatever.
No, I want to call. I'll go off my head.
Well, if you do, my last words are now and will forever. I wish you the best. Leave me the fuck alone. You can say whatever you want to say about me on your channel. I don't care. I've already said everything I needed to and wanted to say on your channel. I was there. So.
Does he even have a channel anymore?
It's all been spent tonight.
I have no idea.
Well, that channel that everyone was carrying on their backs for a while, that one's still around.
Is it?
Nothing's been posted on it since though.
It's funny how everything just went quiet, eh?
Yeah, that's the ghosts in Mrs. Austin's work area.
No, I'll probably get it.
Well, I hope that he's, like I said, I hope that he's reevaluating. I do. I
I
hope
won't be.
I hope nothing but the best. Like I
probably
don't
won't.
care about anyone for the
You
fuck
won't.
of it. I don't
Yeah.
put effort into people if I don't see some potential. There is potential there.
Yeah.
Again, it could be a facade and I could be just that fucking autistic 100% too. It's, goes both ways in that sense. But at the same time, I wish nothing but the best for him to happen. I don't want anything bad to happen. And I worry about
No,
his health.
nothing
I
bad.
worry
You don't
about his
wish-
mental health.
No, you don't wish anything bad about him. I get
No.
that. No, I mean, it would be funny for him to tip out of his wheelchair just a little bit. But
I mean, if he got his ass beat for what he was doing, he finally got hunted down got his ass beat for what he was doing. He deserves it. But
Yeah,
what I'm saying is,
I know,
I personally wish him the best. He has no access to me or my children or any other female in my household. I don't have to worry about him messaging me those type of things, even now after the fact.
exactly.
Because we're not friends. He has no access to me on social media.
Like, come here. And I've got 2 male dogs, so I'm fine. So
But you're gonna have another one.
hey,
You're gonna have another one. Robbo the dog.
no, because both my dogs are male, so I'm fine.
I mean, I have 54 tattoos. I've made this comment before. I have 5. It's 5 marks.
Yeah.
Those are the 5 bitches I kicked out of my life. I need 2 more sets of them. I just haven't been able to.
I thought that was your kill count for a second there.
No, just the people I've kicked out of my life. The people have if I could have gotten away with having them stencil names behind before they blacked it out so that you could actually see the lettering, but not, you'd have to look at my arm and no one's allowed to touch me. So I'm not gonna be like, sure, touch my arm.
She doesn't have teardrops.
I would have.
She doesn't have teardrops tattooed on her.
No, I don't. I have tattoos on my face.
Because that's what teardrops are, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
When
Very much know what teardrops mean.
Yeah.
But
what happens if you have a lot? Does it turn into a puddle around your cheek? Is that why some people just have
it turns into more designs going up like this. It actually does turn into more designs, but it's at a certain point it stops being teardrops. Yeah.
Puddle. I'm still laughing at that.
It would be pretty funny if there was a mirage puddle
dripping off your chin.
Nuts on the chin. Anyway, I gotta go. I better
gonna head off.
Like I said, at least it was informative. I feel like I've let go of a lot of tension that I was holding on. Almost like I deserved it. So I'm glad.
Don't hold on to that anymore. Never hold. You know what you want to. I always say, you can never be scared of someone in a wheelchair because if something happens, you just run up a flight of stairs. What the fuck are they going to do?
Go the long way.
I can imagine Mick would be like the Terminator, though. He'd be coming fucking after you still.
Just like I said, the idea that
looking back, he's there.
There's just some things. There's some things, of course, that I did not say on live because
that's fair.
I'm not here to embarrass him. I'm not here to shame him in any way. I'm hoping to educate him in the sense of this is how you hurt me. These are the things that you did that were detrimental to my mental health. And that was some of the reasons why I was still coming on here. Some of the reasons why I don't write poems about people unless I'm being petty. And there's a poem about him on my website. I believe I shared it with you guys. Because I was not I like I said, I've been boggling my mind. Like, how did I let this happen? How can I live down anything that any of you guys said? Because I feel like I didn't see all the red flags you guys saw. But at the same time, I saw enough. Enough situations happened to me. How many times do you say tonight, Mick, if you would have told me, holy shit, I would have said something? And then I say, I was worried about retribution.
That's a good story. That reminds me of him.
Go to bed, Mick.
Yeah.
Mwah, good night.
You've always got our support. You don't have to worry about narcissism in this group, and you don't have to worry about bullshit, because I got no fucking time to be a narcissist, and I'm too busy. But when people sit around on their ass all day and they do fucking nothing, and they still can't organise a live stream, there's something wrong. Pretty much. He doesn't do anything in his life. He sits on his ass all day and does nothing. Not a thing. Not a fucking thing. Sleeps in till 10 o'clock and doesn't do anything all day. Gets up on live stream and can't sit there on his own for 5 minutes. There's something wrong.
We're talking about me now.
You do a great job regardless.
I tell him that all the time. He's very
He does.
entertaining.
You do a good job.
Yeah, I'm just one of those people that, I don't know, always questioning what I do or whatever. I don't know.
You can.
That
That's
just means
okay.
that means that you're inspiring more for more. You're moving forward. You're not stagnant. You're not worried about what has happened or what could come back.
Always trying to improve.
You're definitely not putting anything out there that you wouldn't endure yourself, and you've endured so much already. You would never put that. That's what I mean. You would never pull from your past and be like, and put it in someone's face. And you would never, I've never seen your intentions, even when you're joking around, none of your intention is to, and even when you do, even when someone is like, what the hell, G? And you're like, oh, I'm sorry. And they're like, no, that was funny. That's what I said. What the hell? And you're like, oh, yeah, I'm funny sometimes. You know what I mean? You're quick to apologize. When someone is quick to apologize, when someone is quick to answer questions, I couldn't imagine seeing you in a view like that. Like I'm like I said, with the conversations that we've had, private conversations that we've had, and the DMs that we've had, the conversations we've had and the DMs and stuff, never, not. And again, I just thought he was having a whole lot of bad days on top of each other, and these people are just out to get him, and he's just, trying to be a nice guy, and he puts himself in situations to protect people he shouldn't. And I'm like, all this sounds so familiar. And then, all of a sudden that's
like, I don't want to
everything every one of us was saying about him.
Well, I had a pretty damn shit day, but I'm very happy that I did end up streaming, because even when I went for a walk, I'm trying to walk a lot more just to, just be a bit more physically active and help the mental health, and just, I didn't sometimes I rush home to get, so I know that I can get this stream set up, and just, I took my time, and I'm very much glad that I did this and got to speak to all of you. And I don't want to, and this is the cringe part now for the title, the cringe. But it's my channel, but I've always felt like this channel is everyone's as well, even though I'm streaming to a few different channels tonight. Because as I've said to Mrs. Austin before and other people, I want the people in the chat that take the time to watch my videos, enjoy it, to see other parts of me that they might not get on a video. Like, can actually talk to me, find out more interest. Like, sometimes we talk about music, cartoons, whatever. I just want people to interact, and that's why I do try to read all the comments, or at least make people feel welcome. And that's the same as people up on the live with me, like both you. I want people to have their say whatever's on their mind, and just all be hippies and shit.
That's true.
Go to bed, Mick.
Yeah, I might leave it there. Did you want to wrap this up as well, Mrs. Austin?
Sure.
Should we wrap this up here?
Yeah, I got a few more minutes we can chat in the back before I have to make sure everybody gets up.
Otherwise, if we don't leave
it's
now,
super cold right now. I know he's falling asleep. We better leave.
No, I was looking at my phone. I was trying to find something. was going to tell you a joke that I wrote it all down and I can't remember where I fucking put it.
You'll have to send it to the chat.
It's a funny. I just got the worst jokes. You are.
Well, I appreciate everyone that watched tonight and a few people that are probably still around. It looks like Cody and Paul. I'm very pleased that I had the amazing Mrs. Austin here with me tonight. I'm very grateful. We had Mick, Sammy, and Mark as well, and it was an amazing chat. And yeah, hopefully I didn't lose too many subscribers over this. But yeah,
You
all
probably
right, take care, everyone. I might even do another midstream live, depending if everyone else wants to join in. But we'll see. We'll talk, and just so everyone can sort of be involved, and everyone has different commitments. But anyway, we love you all, and we'll see you next time, which will be in a few days. Take care.